This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. First round of golf's second major of the year, the Players' Championship. Live coverage on ESPN and ESPN+. Ryan Gerard's at the top of the leaderboard at 5 under after an opening round 66. Scottie Scheffler 4 back. Xander Schauffele 6 off the lead. Rory McIlroy is 8 back of Gerard. It's win of the season's done for the Nuggets, down 3-2 in the NBA's West semis to the Thunder, heading into Game 6 at home tonight. One reason Denver is in this position, it's failed to capitalize on monster games by Nikola Jokic, including his 44-point, 15-rebound, 5-assist performance in the Game 5 loss. ESPN radio host Myron Medcalf.
I just don't know where the other guys are. Oklahoma City has been going to the next guy all season, and that's why they ended up winning the Western Conference by 16 games. The Nuggets aren't that. It's Jokic, then Murray, and then you need a third guy to consistently step up. Who will that be? I mean, after Aaron Gordon, really a fourth guy.
Nuggets don't have much depth outside on their bench outside of Russell Westbrook and Peyton Watson. Game 6, 8 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8:30 Eastern ESPN.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, we'll react to the first round of the PGA Championship and get you ready for a huge Game 6 at the Garden. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Cassie Spazzali. Musso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Saints rookie safety Jonas Sanker in 1 hour from right now. Kendall Rogers in hour 3. Mike Triplett will be here reacting to the Saints schedule. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
You remember a bygone era? I don't know, Muse and Cassie, you may not. A bygone era where you'd get home from school, do your homework, everyone would rush to finish. Maybe it was even compressed if you had practice after school. You get home, rush through your homework, maybe grab your TV tray. Did y'all have TV trays? Would you eat your dinner in the den on a TV tray?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that? Put dinner in the microwave, heat it up or hot off the stove. Sun setting, dusk becomes night. The whole family's on the couch. And what are we doing sitting on the couch with our TV trays? Why are we sitting on the couch in the den?
We're watching TV.
Yeah, we're watching TV. We're watching primetime TV.
Primetime TV.
Hey, Muse, I don't know if you checked. There's a lot of good stuff on primetime TV here in 2025.
Yeah?
A lot of good stuff on primetime TV.
I haven't checked recently. I really haven't.
Later this year, the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. Best of Breeds Day 2. That'll be on in primetime.
I do love dogs, man. I'm a big dog person.
How do you not love a dog? How do you not love a dog? Cassie, you love dogs? Or are you a cat person?
No, I love dogs.
Good. Good. If she was a cat person, I'd say, get out. Cats are evil. You know, every UFL team, Memphis Showboats, San Antonio Brahmas, the Michigan Panthers, the Houston Roughnecks, the Birmingham Stallions, St. Louis Battlehawks, Arlington Renegades, DC Defenders, all of them. What do they have in common, Muse?
They play football.
They're all in prime time.
They're all in prime time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes.
Every WNBA team will play in prime time.
Wow.
WWE Saturday night main event, prime time.
Talk about a bygone era. Yeah, prime time.
PBA Bowling Tour Finals Group 2. Group 2, prime time.
What day is that? I want to watch that.
Don't ask questions, Muse. The Stepladder Finals.
Wait. Okay, you said don't ask questions. I have questions.
I don't have answers.
What?
I just know the Stepladder Finals are going to be on in prime time.
That's a real thing?
Real thing. Professional Pickleball Tour, Punta
hell
Gorda PBA
yeah.
Challenger.
Pickleball's big, man.
Yep. Oh, and season 22 of Grey's Anatomy,
A lot of people love that show.
of which Grey is really no longer on the show, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Haven't seen it since like 06 when Denny died.
Mm.
And Snow Patrol became a big thing. Chasing Cars.
Great song,
Yeah.
man.
That's not
Great
actually.
song. Oh, it is. I love that song.
That's not a great song. It's stupid. You know what's not on in prime time, Use?
What's not
you know
on in
you'll
prime
not
time?
find in prime time in the year of our Lord 2025. The New Orleans Saints are not on in prime time in 2025. I'm sitting here on Wednesday, and we all saw all the schedule leaks. LouisianaSports.net, we had a schedule leak tracker for you. All those stories are coming out about who's playing what, when, where, all that stuff. We're all fired up about it, right? That whole schedule leak tracker. And I sat here and I kind of went through game by game what we knew. And, the one thing I couldn't quite give you yet was a full reaction because we didn't know when the primetime games were going to be, right? This is a big deal, Muse.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
No, it is.
If you're going to play Monday Night Football, Thursday, short week, right? I mean, if you play Sunday on the road, then you got a Thursday night. There's travel. It compresses. Like, that's a big deal. Traveling for Thursday night football. Like we talk about, it's not just who you play, but when and where you play them. So I can look at the order of the schedule. Like, I like the bye in week 11. Some people perceive that as being late. I think that's perfect. It's you've still got 7 weeks after that. So, it's still a good chunk of time, and you've played a good chunk of the season already. Like, it's terrible when you have it in the first 6 weeks of the season. Like, you don't want it too early. I like it there. I like very much, as we look at this schedule, that the Saints have 2 road games against cold weather teams early in the season. Week 3 at Seattle, week 4 at Buffalo. You know when you don't want to play in Buffalo?
Like week 18.
Yeah, when it's like 4 with a wind chill of -20. That's when you, especially when you're a dome team. I don't want to win. I have no interest in that. Nobody wants that. Who wants that?
Nobody wants
Nobody wants that. Especially when you're a dome team. So you want to avoid that. Saints avoid it. So some of those things I'm liking a lot. There's a few things on the schedule like I didn't love. For example, by the way, you're at Chicago in week 7. That's okay.
That's a win. Yeah, there you go.
But weeks 3 and 4, the at Seattle, at Buffalo. Well, you go at Seattle, so you go Pacific Northwest, long flight, come home at Buffalo. So you're opposite corners of the country, like the farthest points of the country you can go in the NFL, back-to-back weeks. That's a lot of travel. That's tough right there. Really tough spot. Week 9, at L.A., so you're West Coast, at L.A., week 10, at Carolina, East Coast. Like, those are the spots in the schedule like, that's not great. I don't have great expectations for this team anyway. But as I looked through this, all of that kind of works out. I was just waiting to see when we might get that primetime game. Saints on Monday Night Football. Would we see Sunday night? Any really intriguing battles? Michael Penix, the Falcons. Saints-Falcons always seems to be one that tends to be pinged somewhere. Could we see maybe one of the young quarterbacks coming into the Dome, one of those rookies, or maybe like Drake May and the Patriots? Will Campbell coming back home could have been intriguing. Nope. Nary a primetime game. Saints will not play on primetime. Whenever Sean Payton, we keep receipts here, as you all know. We had a lot of fun with receipts on Monday with Derek Carr. Read a lot of your stupid comments from 2 years ago. But we keep receipts when I'm stupid. And I said something really stupid as well. The day Sean Payton resigned, I sat here and praised Sean Payton for what he did in New Orleans for a decade and a half, and he deserved it. But the thing I said that day was New Orleans is going to be better long-term because Sean Payton was here. He laid the foundation and elevated the standards such that you're never going to go back to what you were before he got here. And my goodness, was I wrong. I mean, when Sean Payton walked out the door, we realized he was the adult in the room. that Gumsmack and Mickey and Grandma Gail had nothing to do with the success of this organization. That it was Sean and Drew. And when that tandem was gone, brother, they were holding that thing together with bubblegum and popsicle sticks. Because there is no infrastructure. You wonder why the Pittsburgh Steelers never bottom out. Like, they haven't challenged for a Super Bowl, but you wonder why they never bottom out. They have stability in their organization. They have good management, a good head coach. They have a plan that they execute. New Orleans out here maxing out credit cards, buying stupid stuff like speakers and mink coats. Meanwhile, you can't pay your mortgage. Like, that's the Saints. That's what they are. Poverty franchise, man. It's awful. No primetime games. And, by the way, hat tip Garland Gillen over at Fox 8. Garland tweeted this. He went over to DraftKings and looked up the point spreads for every Saints game. So, the odds are up for every game, right? So Garland went up and looked up the point spread for every New Orleans Saints game this year. Do you want to take a guess? Do you know the answer? You know the answer.
I know the answer.
You know the answer. Cassie, do you want to take a guess? Hey, do you know the answer? Okay.
No, I don't know.
There's 17 games. I don't know how big of a Saints fan you are, but there's 17 games. Okay. How many games of the 17? We're not expecting the Saints to be good, but how many of the 17 do you think New Orleans is favored in? Ballpark. Just throw it out there.
Maybe like 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's probably. Look, Vegas, the projected win total is 4.5. That's a pretty good guess, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. One. Week 16 against the Jets. Saints are a 1.5 point favorite at home against the Jets in Week 16. That's it. When I do this, you can. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, bummer. Okay, let me know that. So I can know to do that. Anyway. I'm going to approach the rest of this with a different mindset because I have no expectation for this team. I think their ceiling is 5 wins. I think it's a respectable ceiling. They do have, by opponents' record from a year ago, the second easiest strength of schedule. Only the 49ers have an easier strength of schedule based on opponents' win percentage of a year ago. Now, that can always change, right? If last year Washington was on your schedule, you're like, damn, they stink. They were picking second in the draft, rookie quarterback. Come on. Yeah, they went to the NFC Championship game. So that can happen, and teams can bottom out as well. So there will be some fluidity, but that's one reason for optimism. But by and large, what we all have to process is the understanding that what I have wanted and what I think a lot of you have wanted as well, just judging by the interaction I get from a lot of you, is for this team to reset. And I know rebuild versus reload, whatever. I don't care. It's a semantical argument. The New Orleans Saints cannot be all in to win right now because there's nowhere close to winning. I've known that for the last 3 years. You have known that for the last 3 years as well, and we've all talked about it. Unfortunately, the people who didn't want to acknowledge it are the people making the decisions. So they've continued digging the hole deeper. Now, after firing Dennis Allen, a rookie head coach, your franchise, air quotes, franchise quarterback retiring, now you got a 25-year-old rookie and 2 other guys who've 3 quarterbacks on the roster that have never won a game in the NFL. You've got an old, expensive roster. There is no expectation on this team. So anything in your mind about playoffs, contention, punt all of it. Now, start right now and understand we are reframing our conversation about the New Orleans Saints so as not to talk about what they can be in 2025. It's about building in 2025 for what they could be in 26, 27, and beyond. And all of this with this schedule release, the odds not being on prime time, all of it is a very clear indication of circumstantial evidence that this is the reality for the New Orleans Saints right now. So our conversation about this team is going to shift. What can Kellen Moore build? Is Tyler Shuck the future of this organization? What about young draft picks on the defensive side of the ball? Jonas, Sanker, Quincy Riley, Vernon Broughton. Can these guys be cornerstone pieces for you as you move into the new era of the New Orleans Saints? That's the conversations we're going to be having about this team moving forward. All right, it's After Further Review. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Hey, had lunch today with my buddy Dan Palmer over at Mockler Beverage. We were talking a good bit as well about some of the events we have coming up. Working on something for the Thursday before the regional with our friends over at Mockler Beverage, and something in July for the Dustin Poirier UFC fight. So excited about a lot coming up. But no matter what, whatever you're doing on the weekend, watching the Tigers play, if you're just, I don't know, hanging out, complaining about the Saints, I don't blame you. You can be grilling this weekend. Make sure you got plenty of ice cold Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of your New Orleans Saints. All right, it's After Further Review. LSU baseball, they're on the road. They'll take on South Carolina. We know the pitching plan for the Tigers here in Game 1. We'll get to it next on AFR.
After Further Review.
Check out our friends over at Duplessis Builders. I want to warn you, and I've told you this before, the whole process of building a pool with Duplessis, from the first time you make that call until completion, it's going to be about a 2-month process. But it takes that time because they take the time to do it right. And when you go to the showroom, you're going to do this entire process in one visit. You're going to pick out your tiling, your coping, your stone, your plaster. The goal there at Duplessis is to get you to pick out everything for your pool. It's exciting. Instead of someone saying, here's all your stuff, at Duplessis, they're going to guide you. They don't just pick it for you. Remember, they do outdoor kitchens as well. So if you want to turn your outdoor space into your backyard paradise, you can do it, and Duplessis Builders can help. They are a local company. Derek's from Ascension Parish. Their office is right there on Airline Highway in Prairieville next to the new Rouse's. Check them out at duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wildin'.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Doctor for the Review with Matt Moscona. Presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Game 1, LSU at South Carolina. When Jay Johnson, or when the weekend preview was released a day ago, Jay Johnson left Game 1 as a TBA for a starting pitcher. So they're pitching off, keeping Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson on their regular days on Friday and Saturday to keep them on regular rest. By the way, love that decision. We talked about it a smidge yesterday, but in case you missed that conversation, I love that decision. You are dramatically more concerned about having your pitching lined up, rested, ready for the postseason than you are for this weekend. Now, of course, there is a lot on the line this weekend, so you're balancing that. You're balancing knowing you got to go win this weekend in order to lock up a national seed before you get to Hoover. So that is a key component here, but not at the risk of jeopardizing the postseason. So Cade Anderson, you're not going to pitch him short rest back-to-back weeks, especially when he's coming off that scary thing with his wrist, forearm, whatever that was, cramp, soreness, all that stuff. So I love keeping them on their days. And if you lose Game 1, then you come back in Games 2 and 3 with Anderson, Ianson, with a chance to win the series with your two guns. Awesome. If you win Game 1, then you know you split Games 2 and 3 with Anderson, Ianson, you've locked up a national seed, and you got a great shot to sweep. So I love keeping them where they are. The question then became, what do you do Game 1? And I put it on Twitter a bit ago. They were considering Case and Evans in this game, and the biggest question I got back from people was, why would you do that on short rest? It wasn't going to be Case and Evans extending. I mean, if you think about it, we talk about this often, but every pitcher has a bullpen day. Like Jay even talked about, or can you play earlier? This was Jay, number 5, if you would, Muse. This was Jay earlier this weekend when he was asked for an update on Anderson.
Yeah, he threw his bullpen yesterday, and we're on track as normal, and excited about that.
So Anderson threw a bullpen on Monday, right? So he pitched on Friday, and then was off Saturday, Sunday, and threw a bullpen on Monday after 2 days of rest. So if you're just thinking of it in terms of that, after Evans had thrown 87 pitches on Sunday, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's 3 days, and then throws on Thursday, that's not outlandish to think he could get out there, rev it up, and give you 30 pitches. That's all it would be. It would have just was they were considering him as an opener, just to take the ball, get you off to a good start, hand it to the next guy, so that you didn't burn anybody for the entire weekend. With Newt and Shores, probably Jacob Myers to follow. That was a consideration. I am glad they're going a different route. I know Tiger Rag reported, I think other places have had as well, that they are going to go with Connor Ware as the starter. And I like that decision much better. Ware, Newt, Shores are guys that fully expecting are going to get the ball, and they would like to get home with those three. If they could go Ware, Newt, Shores, finish the game with those three, they would do it. Then you would keep everybody else available for you, including Cowan and Evans, behind Anderson and Ianson in Games 2 and 3. The key to be able to do that is your bats kind of getting going. And listen, Paul Maneri was on this show a day ago, and I think Jay knows this. It's not been a great year on the mound, really anywhere, but on the mound for South Carolina.
We just don't have a lot of hard throwers, not many at all. Like LSU has a bunch of power arms, and we're just not there yet. We got to recruit like crazy to get that. We kind of inherited what we have and, added a few pieces to the transfer portal. But by the time that we took over, the pickings were a little bit slim as far as pitching goes. So we did pick up some left-handers. They're not exceptionally hard throwers. So I don't know. We're just going to go out there and hope he can dazzle them a little bit and, just kind of piece some things together.
Very much understand where Maneri's coming from there. And all of the issues. One of the things we talked about with Paul, and he's right. He took over late. Most of what was available in the portal is not available. He inherited a bad situation to begin with. It's not that dissimilar from his first year at LSU when they missed the postseason in 2007. And then a year later, they were in Omaha. I'm not saying Carolina's going to be in Omaha next year. I'm saying Paul's a good coach and he'll figure it out and they'll make it work and all that stuff. But this is an unenviable position to be in. And this is a South Carolina team that that has a cumulative staff ERA of 6.28. That's 15th, and there's 16 teams in the league. They're 15th. They don't pitch it well. So offensively, LSU needs to go out there. I mean, it's the best thing you could do on a day like this. If you're pitching off and you're going to try to get a piecemeal game together out of your bullpen and your staff, you need to have a big day offensively. And you should have a big day offensively against the worst pitching staff in the league. So that's the thing worth watching more than any other. And listen, as the road team, you're going to be batting first. So you can go set the tone in the top of the first inning of this ball game by starting to knock the ball around the yard and give whoever, in this case Connor Ware, to start, to give Connor Ware an opportunity to go out there on the bump at the bottom of the first with the lead. And when we look at Connor Ware's season, I think the outing that most of us are going to talk to was his second outing of the season, and it was his first start when he pitched against Dallas Baptist. That was that game at Globe Life in Arlington. If you remember, LSU went and played the midweek game against Dallas Baptist. Then they went and played in the Round Rock deal. But that game against Dallas Baptist, he went 4 innings, allowed just 1 run on 1 hit. It was a solo homer. He struck out 6, didn't walk any. Like, if Connor Ware can go give you 4 innings, he can go get you 12 outs. I mean, that would be an amazing start. I just told you, they would like to piece this together with 3 guys, with Ware, Newton, Shores. If you're able to do that, go get 27 outs with those 3 guys and get a win if your offense shows up in a big way, and then you got an incredible opportunity for the rest of the weekend with Anderson and Ianson waiting in the wings. They stay on their day, and then you're off and running toward Hoover in the SEC tournament. By the way, Jay did also say earlier, there's a Play 3 Muse. It was the plan about what they're going to do for Hoover, because a lot of teams after their final series just go straight to Hoover. That's not what LSU is going to do.
We're going to come back. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We kind of deliberated on that. It's hard to know what day you're going to play. I think doing the math, I don't think there's a scenario where we could play on Tuesday. And I think basically how I came to that was Alabama and Florida play each other. So it's either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And, I think getting back and getting in our own beds is a good deal.
Go win this weekend. Secure a top 4. Remember, the top 4 get a double bye. It's sort of I think a lot of people are still figuring out the whole format. So every team, all 16 teams are in the field this year. It was in the 14-team league, the top 12 made it, so the bottom 2 were cut. And the first day was single elimination. Then you got into the double elimination portion. Then when you got to the weekend, it went back to single elimination. Now everything is single elimination. So if I could tell you candidly what I'm hoping for as a best scenario, LSU goes and sweeps South Carolina, finish 20-10, go play on Thursday in Hoover, hold Anderson, Ianson, all of them, have a bullpen day, lose, and come home and get ready for regionals. I don't need an extended stay in Hoover. I don't need to see LSU taxing its pitching staff. There's nothing I got to see in Hoover. What I want to see LSU do is go win 2 out of 3 this weekend. Sweep would be amazing. Lock up your national seed and start setting everything up for regional play. And then hopefully super regionals and Omaha. That's where you are right now. It's the part of the season that defines how teams around LSU are remembered. Nobody remembers teams that won the SEC tournament. Nobody remembers teams that got to Omaha and lost. You're remembered if you win the last game in Omaha. So everything has to be lining up to that end. Great opportunity tonight. So Connor Ware reportedly will get the ball first and see if the Tigers can make it through against a bad South Carolina team. But, I mean, the cautionary tale is Missouri a week ago. I mean, A&M had everything to play for, y'all. After their awful start, they dug themselves out of that hole. They were staring down a regional berth with Missouri at College Station, and they get swept by an 0-24 team in the league. And now A&M is going to have to sweep this weekend and probably make a run in Hoover as well to try to jump back into the field. So maybe that's a blessing for Jay Johnson that he can go to his guys and say, hey, look, you can go look at their record, but look at what just happened with Missouri and Texas A&M. You better show up ready to play. We'll see if the Tigers do. Remember, it's a 6 o'clock first pitch tonight on Game 1 because the obviously it's an East Coast game. So 6 o'clock first pitch. You can hear it on the LSU Sports Radio Network, and in Baton Rouge, it's our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Okay, y'all, we're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters as well. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Maybe you got that tax refund check. Instead of blowing it, invest it. Invest it in your home, your most valuable asset. For many of us, the biggest investment we'll ever make. Why not install beautiful, energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows? But they're not just windows. They're doors, siding, and shutters as well. Their interior shutters, by the way, are custom fit for any room. They're elegant, practical, and they offer light control and privacy. So check out Relief Windows when you think about windows, doors, siding, but shutters as well. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Okay, y'all, glad you're hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Football Tigers added another member to the sports staff. Get to that in 15 minutes. When we come back, we'll go around the SEC. Don't you move.
After further review.
GLO. GlowResources.com, GlowResources.com, GlowResources.com. You're a business owner? You need Glow Resources. You're a hiring manager, operations manager, HR manager. If you're the person in your business who is responsible for finding the people that make your business the most efficient, most profitable it can be, you need Glow Resources. Because Glow Resources represents you, the client, the business owner. They're not a temp staffing agency. They work with you, the business owner, to find the people in your industry that are going to make you more productive. Civil construction, maritime, service companies, appliances. It doesn't matter if we're talking about skilled blue collar or on the admin side, they do it all. Their professional placement division, they'll source people from all over the world. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online, y'all. Learn more at GLO, glowresources.com, complete employer solution.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
The 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Spring Cha-Ching, powered by Citizens Bank and Trust, is back. Register today at 1045ESPN.com for your chance to win $5,000 cash. It's Spring Cha-Ching from Citizens Bank and Trust and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Everybody by now probably knows T-Bob made his big announcement on Wednesday. Our guy T-Bob has been hired by Barstool Sports, so T's going to be moving with his family to Chicago. His last day on the air is tomorrow, Friday, May the 16th. So depending on when you're watching or listening to this, if you're with us live. So make sure you catch the final OTB with Hester and T-Bob Friday morning from 7 to 10 a.m. Our guy Jake, however, did just tweet out. This is not an approved graphic. Cassie, did you make this graphic? I don't think you made this graphic. No?
No, I didn't make that one.
Okay. My guess is Hester probably had help from AI on this one. It looks like an AI graphic, yeah? Probably.
Yeah, I kind of like it, though.
It looks AI-ish. I mean, like, I think Cassie could do it. Do you think you could do better than AI?
Probably.
I'm going to say you can. You look at a lot of the stuff that we produce, thumbnails, graphics, like Cassie, Paul, like Paul's whole team, which includes Cassie and Jesse and Taylor, and who am I leaving off?
The panels. Cassie, the panels.
But yes,
Cassie does the
if
panels.
you're watching, the panels here, like the decision critical panel, right? Cassie made this panel. All these panels are designed by Cassie. Like, she's fantastic. I'm going to get with Hester and be like, actually, I'll just do this. Cassie, I need you to start designing some new logos for OTB. Well, if you'll notice this, it does say off the bench with Jacob Hester, and there's a blank. So Hester left a little tease that at 8 a.m., he will make a show announcement about who is joining the show.
And that part's really well done. Good tease there.
You want did he just text me? Wait, hang on. He did just text me. I don't think he's not listening because he's on air on Sirius XM. So I asked him because we're going to send out a press release, obviously, like we did with T-Bob. We'll post it at LouisianaSports.net if you can't be listening live. But I told him, I was like, I need a quote for the press release.
Yeah.
I can't read.
Can't read. It's gonna. Yeah.
But it's good. It's really good. I don't think I'm going to use it, but it's good. It's hilarious. But anyway, that is perfect. But I don't think I can use that laughing face emoji.
Voice text. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's a voice text is what that was. Anyway, so 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Central. We'll have a big announcement about the future of the morning show. Hester, a little bit of a tease there on his AI graphic. Cassie, maybe you can make a better graphic than that for the morning. Would be probably ideal. So we don't have to use Hester's AI graphic. Not a terrible graphic. By the way, also, I don't mean to be wasting time. We're going to go around the SEC here in just a quick second. I came into the I should have tweeted this earlier. Came into work. I had to go to New Orleans this morning we did at Parrish Construction Roofing. We did our $10,000 check presentation today, which is lovely. But I had to drive to New Orleans. I dropped off Drew at school at 8:30, drove straight down to New Orleans, met our winner, presented the check, photo op, all that stuff, drove right back, had lunch with my guy Dan Palmer from Mockler Beverage. Great, then came. So I got here late, but I got here, and at my door, my office, Michelle Southern had left me a little gift. It was a 1:17 a.m. shirt from 929 Misfits.
Hey.
How about that? It is upstairs. Maybe I'll go get it. If you haven't seen it yet, you can pull it up, Cassie. So, of course, LSU has had 2 walk-off wins in baseball this year. Both of them at identical 1:17 a.m. times. And so that we have a shirt up at 929 Misfits, and it's a purple shirt with gold lettering. It says 1:17 a.m. And then the quote from Jay Johnson, "We're the best team in America at 1 a.m.," which actually is pretty fitting and perfect. So, what a great day. Got to give away $10,000. Got to have a really nice lunch with a good client. Got me a free shirt. My niece, shout out Sophia Delafano, graduating from St. Jude School today. We're going out for a big party tonight. So as soon as I get off air, going to that. So I'm going to have the game probably watching on my phone tonight at the party. But I keep an eye on it. One eye on the party, one eye on the phone. Everybody will respect it, I think. Anyway.
I'm not going to lie. As much as I love the 1:17 a.m. shirt from 99 Misfits, the way you were explaining that, I totally thought we had another letter to Moscona, Louisiana. When you're like, oh, it's right there on the next to my door. I was like, oh, we got mail. I was like, we got another letter addressed to Moscona, Louisiana.
We didn't have that.
No.
But you can send me a letter. 929 Government Street. Matt Moscona, care of Guarantee Media, 929 Government Street, Moscona, Louisiana.
It's the town.
70802. And I promise this time before I open the mail, I won't insult the sender if you misspell my name. Because I have the one right here. Hang on. What was her name? I think it was Jamie Post. Jamie Post from Natchitoches, but lives in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
There we go.
Yeah. Drove 12 hours to attend the spring game and meet the players. She sent me this picture of her with getting Garrett Nussmeier to sign her Nussbus shirt from 929 Misfits.
There you go. It all ties in.
It all ties in right there.
Full circle moment.
But she did spell my name Mascona. But she did send it to Mascona, Louisiana. So whether you do Mascona, Louisiana, or Moscona, Louisiana, it'll get here as long as you have the area code. Okay. Excuse me, the zip code. Okay, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Kalen DeBose has declared that Ty Simpson would be the starting quarterback at Alabama if they had to play a game right now. Said that on the Paul Feinbaum show on Wednesday. Simpson was the backup for Milroe last season. 6 appearances, all on mop-up duty. Only attempted 25 passes. Why are people so high on Alabama? I don't.
The Missouri Tigers.
Like, how much more do you have to see? A 3-star safety, DeMonte Timms, has decommitted from Mizzou, 6'1", 195. Committed back on April the 4th. He's the number 81 ranked safety in the class, but now he is decommitted from Mizzou. Tigers now down to just 2 commits for 2026.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma has added a 2026 commitment from safety Nico Jandro. Made his pledge to the Crimson and Cream. Picked OU over USC, Washington, Missouri, and Georgia Tech. 3-star, the number 107 safety in America, the 17th best player in Arizona. OU's got 5 commits for 26.
The Texas Longhorns.
And Texas baseball outfielder Max Ballou is listed as probable ahead of the Texas series at OU. Of course, he was the conference player of the year last year in the Big 12. He's missed 26 games this year after suffering a thumb injury that was thought to be a season ender, but looks like he's actually going to be out there playing this weekend. 24 games on the season. He's hitting .358 with 6 homers and 22 RBI. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I was chatting, or actually texting last week with Blasia. They're actually offering now phlebotomy. If you need, like, especially for men on hormone therapy, if you have to give blood to keep your red blood cell count down, they can come to you for this service. So it's therapeutic phlebotomy with volume replacement. You can do it at home, at your office. Total process takes about 30 minutes. So if you're on TRT and it's under doctor recommendation that you give blood regularly, our friends over at Decision Critical have you covered. We always say it's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. They can come give you IVs. Maybe you're down and out, feeling bad, not feeling great, maybe sick. They can give you an IV, come to your home, your office, whatever it may be. Now they can do therapeutic phlebotomy as well. They do B12 shots as they can come to your home, office, whichever it may be. It's Decision Critical. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you are hanging out with us here. LSU added a member to its support staff this week. We'll give you a little bit of a thumbnail on who that is next. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark Hotel Downtown Baton Rouge, the original high-rise building in downtown Baton Rouge. Man, I'm going to tell you, if you've not been to the Watermark, it is time. And remember, if you want like a really fun, custom, thrilling night out, you can go to the Watermark. And I've told you, it's the old Louisiana National Bank building. So in the basement, like when you walk in the lobby, there's this beautiful marble staircase that goes down, right, underneath the building. And when you go down, that's where the bank vaults were. Well, they've hollowed out the bank vaults, and they've added artwork and modern amenities, and then these long, beautiful tables where you can have a board meeting in there, or you can have private dining. So you want to have a private dining experience in one of these bank vaults. What a cool thing to do. Maybe get a group together, office group, a graduation party, whatever it may be. You can do it there at the Watermark Hotel. Of course, you're looking to host an event. Check out our friends at Watermark Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Brian Kelly has added a member to his support staff, someone who knows the SEC very well. Look, if you're like a super diehard SEC football fan, you might know the name Jackson Lampley. He spent the last 6 years as an offensive lineman at the University of Tennessee. So for context, he came into the SEC in 2019, the same year as John Emery. He is not, however, playing a seventh season. So Lampley redshirted in 2019 at Tennessee. And, of course, 2020 was the COVID year. And then now he's played the last 4 seasons. And he's played in more than 50 games. As a matter of fact, it was 52 career games played. But he only made 3 starts. So he was primarily a backup and a rotational player there on the offensive line for Tennessee. And now by the way, he's a Tennessee legacy. His dad was an offensive lineman at Tennessee when Peyton Manning was there. And actually his final year was the 1997 SEC championship team at Tennessee that beat Auburn in Atlanta. And apparently when his playing career ended this year, he knew very intentionally that he wanted to go into coaching. And so as so many guys do, they start as a GA, as an intern. You just find a place to get in, to get your foot in the door. And so it was actually Football Scoop who first reported the news. The guys over at Football Scoop do a great job. They're very tied in with the AFCA. And so in and being so tight in there at the coaches convention and with those coaching circles, get a lot of news and notes and tidbits. So Lampley, in his Twitter X post announcing that he was joining LSU, sort of been thanking Tennessee as well. He talked about how he spent a lot of time talking to a lot of different schools, both at the G5 and Power 4 level, for opportunities, and ultimately led him here to this opportunity where he's going to join the LSU coaching staff. So he's an offensive intern. And the thing I think that is most important to remember with the support staff now in college football is that your support staff can coach on the field. And that is just, it's so critical because the 10 full-time staff members get pulled in so many different directions, but really now the only differentiator is that those 10 full-time staff members can coach off the field or can recruit, away from campus. But now you have help on the field. It's why, by and large, LSU was able to get by without hiring a special teams coordinator, because they can hire a special teams analyst who coaches the special teams. So really the only differentiator now is Jackson Lampley just followed me on Twitter. That was weird. I pulled up his tweet to show it on thing. I hit follow on him. He followed me right back. Maybe I'll DM Jackson Lampley and see. He's there right now. Hey, man, you want to come on the show?
Always a good policy.
Yeah.
Always.
Look at our guy. But I'm already calling him our guy. Pull this up, Cassie. Look, this is his Twitter. So his photo is him playing football at Tennessee. But look at his header.
Oh,
he's already got the header. It's
Tiger Stadium.
Tiger Stadium, running out the tunnel. The same end zone right there where T-Bob famously snapped the ball against Tennessee in 2010. Yeah. If I get our guy Jackson Lampley on the show, I got to ask him about that 2010 game. How old would he have been? That would have been 15 years ago. Yeah. So if he's 20, if he's 24, he'd have been like 9 years old. Did I do my math right?
Man, you're asking me. I mean, I'm horrible at math too. So I mean,
24 minus 15, 40, 9. I had it right. Yeah, 9.
Yeah, okay,
right. Yeah, 9 years old. Would you remember a game was 9? Let's see. I was born in 82, so I'd have been 9 in 91. Yeah, of course, I remember games.
9 years old. Yeah. You should definitely have memories by 9 years old.
Of those years, was it 90 or 90? See, this is where the years run together. LSU lost a game at Vanderbilt. Can you Google this, please? LSU lost a game at Vanderbilt. I think it was 90. It might have been 91. But Todd Kinshin caught a Hail Mary, which was the game winner, and they nullified it for offensive interference. You want to talk about like a kick in the nether region, way to lose a football game. If you just look up LSU Vanderbilt series. Do I need to Google it, Muse?
No, that, first of all, that's Vanderbilt's last win over LSU.
Not surprised. I mean,
it's 1990.
Okay, it was 90. So I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old in 1990 when that happened. I wonder if I can find video of that. It's got to. I mean, it has to exist on the internet. But as I recall, that was like that was a Jefferson Pilot special.
A late LSU touchdown nullified by a flag gave Vanderbilt a 24-21 win. Yeah. And their only win of the season.
Oh God. And LSU, look, and LSU also in 1997, the week before LSU, this was such the DiNardo era, and I don't mean to do the whole back in my day thing, but the week before they beat Florida and tore down the goalposts, LSU beat Vanderbilt in Nashville 7-6. LSU blocked a PAT to win that game. That's the game when Cecil Collins broke his leg. So Cecil breaks his leg on the turf in Nashville, and Cecil had blown up that year. So you lose Cecil for the year, you eke by Vanderbilt, and then you got number 1 Florida defending national champs come in. Not many people were giving LSU a shot, and Tigers pulled off the upset that day. And now you know the rest of the story. I'm going to go back to I feel like the old man in his rocking chair right now. Cassie looks bored out of her mind. She's like, what are you even talking about? Who is Cecil Collins, and why are you in a rocking chair? It's what this is about. What? That's probably what
I mean, you're not in a rocking chair, but yeah, no, I got it. I get the metaphor.
Theoretically.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Chair. Hey, we're brought to you by Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service. My father-in-law, we were at Drew's Miracle League game on Tuesday. I walked up, he goes, hey, man, I got to tell you. He speaks with that thick accent like this. Man, I got to shout out your guys at Shawbill's. I went to Gonzales. Tire was leaking. Brought it over there, put it up on the rack, got me fixed up. Said, here you go, man. No charge. I was like, really? That's kind of how my father-in-law talks. But yeah, no charge. Like, they will repair your tires for free. Because 60 years ago, Mr. Charlie said that's just the right thing to do. And so now they still do it. You need tires? They'll sell you the best tires on the road, cheapest price possible. Name brand tires, wholesale prices. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Learn more, DecisionCriticalBR.com. We're going to knock out a break. When we come back, New Orleans Saints rookie safety Jonas Sanker from Virginia is going to join us. That safety is a position of need for New Orleans. He was at rookie minicamp this past weekend. Jonas Sanker next.
AFR.
Got mold? Think you might? Your house smell? What about your office? Maybe you own a workout facility, a gym, yoga studio, whatever it may be. I can remember being a kid taking taekwondo, and in the dojo, we didn't call it a dojo. I forgot what we called it now. What do you call it in taekwondo? It doesn't matter. In the room where we went, they had carpet in there, and my goodness, did that stink. Whew, I can still smell it. You know what knocked that out? Parish Restoration. They'll come in, spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. Go to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens, including the bacteria that causes odor. So if you got odor from smell, pets, anything, smoke, they'll knock it out. It's Parish Restoration. Log on to parishrestoration.com. That's parishrestoration.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 2 nights after a pivotal Game 5 victory, Thunder seeking to provide the knockout punch to the Nuggets in Game 6 of the NBA's Western Conference semifinals series. As Nikola Jokic has been carrying the load, depth has been a concern in the series for Denver, especially the last 2 games. That is not the case for OKC, points out ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
That's what's winning them these games, especially the last 2. You look at the numbers of what they've done to Denver in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's been eye-popping. And you heard Shea talk about it. Like, basically, like, I wouldn't be able to close the game if it wasn't for the others on my team.
Game 6, 8 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8:30 Eastern ESPN. Denver's second leading scorer, Jamal Murray, questionable due to illness. Live on ESPN, first round PGA Championship. Cam Davis, Ryan Gerard tied for the lead at golf's second major of the year. Top 3 golfers in the world: Scotty Scheffler 3-back, Xander Schauffele 6-back, Masters champ Rory McIlroy 8 off the lead. NFL owners will vote next week on a resolution that would allow players to take part in the Olympics.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, we'll react to the first round of the PGA Championship and get you ready for a huge Game 6 at the Garden. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right. Woo!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Cassie Spazzali.
I'm walking here.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom, play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Kendall Rogers, 1 hour from right now. Mike Triplet coming up next hour as well. The New Orleans Saints used 9 draft picks in last month's draft. The most since 2015. They had 9. They used them all. Didn't make a deal. Part of it was at number 93 overall when they went DB.
With the 93rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Jonas Sanker, defensive back, Virginia.
And Jonas Sanker, good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes on AFR. Jonas, thank you for the time. How are you?
Doing great. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing awesome. We appreciate you for making it work. Fresh off a rookie minicamp, what were your biggest takeaways?
Really just being able to spend some time with the coaches and being able to just kind of learn the scheme and just start early, getting to know some of the other rookies, kind of building that chemistry, just kind of soaking up everything and just, really just making the most of the time there.
You know, I think you spend, when you're a guy like you are and you get to go play major college football, I mean, everybody's dream is to play in the NFL. And I'm sure in your brain, in your mind's eye, you had a way that it would look or feel. In what ways was that first experience like what you thought it was? In what ways was it different?
Honestly, it was kind of what I expected. And, that kind of goes with just, knowing some people who've kind of been through this process, being able to speak with them a little bit. So kind of having a head start on what to expect coming in. But, overall, it's been, they've done a great job of just making the transition smooth and easy. And,
Let's talk a little bit about that whole draft process. So you're coming out of UVA. Were the Saints a big part of your pre-draft process?
They did come visit me in Charlottesville, and they worked me out, and we spoke a lot and watched some film. So we were in contact.
By the way, who came? What Saints coaches came? Do you remember?
Corners coach.
So was that Terry Joseph?
No.
Okay. But you got to meet Terry Joseph this weekend whenever you were there for rookie minicamp?
Yes.
What was your impression of the staff there this week?
It was Coach Brown who came and met with me.
Okay. But this weekend at rookie minicamp, what were your impressions of the staff that you got to meet and work with?
Just, super intense, super focused, and just really passionate about what they do. And, that's just is super easy to see, just in the way they coach, the way they communicate, and just, the style of their meetings and all that. So, getting to know them, the first thing, they kind of wanted to connect on a personal level, tell a little bit about themselves, and, hear a little bit about, me and some of the other rookies. So.
Jonas Sanker is our guest, Saints draft pick out of the University of Virginia there in round 3. What about Brandon Staley? What do you know about the defensive coordinator and stylistically what he wants to do with you all at the safety spot?
Just being able to play fast and stay square, being able to get off blocks, be violent, but just really just be the communicators of the defense. And but that's also just the case for every position, just being able to communicate at a high level and just being able to, be responsible for doing your job.
When draft day came around and your phone rang and it was New Orleans, what was that? Can you walk us through that memory that you and your family will have forever? What was that like for you when the phone rang?
No, it was super special, and having so many people there to support me just made it even more heartwarming. Being able to go to a place like New Orleans, somewhere I've never been, never really spent much time, don't know much about. Just, I'm super open just to exploring and just, learning more about the city. But, from what I've heard for the most part, just from the outside, just that, it's a super welcoming community and, the people really love and care for, their football players, their Saints. So, I'm excited to, get to learn more about New Orleans and, the community here and, just bring whatever I can to this community and this football team.
Did you get to go eat when you were here for rookie minicamp?
Yeah, I've been eating at the facility for the most part, but honestly, that already has just been off the charts. Their food and facility are, amazing.
Once you get to town and around camp and you get to experience some of the fare, I think you'll enjoy it even more. It's one of the best food cities in the world. If you're a foodie, you'll really enjoy it, man. I know that mini camp is such a compressed thing where you got a lot to accomplish on the field in such a short amount of time. Jonas Sanker's with us here for just a couple of more minutes. But by the way, are you more strong safety or free safety?
I really play both. In college, I played high safety, box safety, nickel. I played everything. So I like to pride myself on being able to play wherever and have the same success wherever you put me.
You used the word a minute ago about when I was asked about describing Brandon Staley about being violent. Would you describe yourself as a violent safety?
For sure. I think just being able to play violent and play fast are things that stand out about me, and I think ultimately what made me, a good fit for what he's trying to bring to this defense.
Yeah. One other thing, Jonas, that was so interesting when we looked at the Saints draft class in totality. They drafted a lot of guys that were captains, that were veteran players, that were durable, didn't miss time. And I think a lot of that, you exemplify a lot of that in your time. But what was so interesting, especially in this era in college football with the portal, is a lot of guys jump and leave and bounce. And you stayed at UVA, especially through some pretty lean years there at times. Why? Why did you choose to stay at UVA for your whole career when so many guys transfer?
Yeah, definitely had opportunities to leave, but for me, a lot of it was just loyalty to where I kind of had started out my journey. And also just, I had built a lot of good relationships there. I really felt like I had something good, but the main reason for me was, family related and just being able to stay home, help my mom out and, be a part of my younger siblings' lives.
You're from Virginia. I think some people, if they don't know, they're from Virginia, went to high school in Virginia, so you were close to home. By the way, I also saw this side-by-side of you and Jalen Hurts. Have you seen that going around the internet?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Why? What do you think? You sound like a little displeased with that. What do you think?
Nah, I'm just, I've seen it, and, it's people's opinion. And I don't really have much to say about it.
Dude, I get that. Dude, I'm a bald-headed guy with a beard. People like, anybody who's bald with a beard, they're like, oh, you look like a bald-headed guy with a beard. I'm like, yeah, I do. I look like a thumb. I'm sorry. That's just what I look like. Anyway, hey, man, I appreciate a couple of minutes from you, man. Good luck here on your journey. Good health and all that stuff. And we'll catch up down the road, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
That's our pleasure. Jonas Sanker for a couple of minutes here joining us on the show. I think where most people get it is the goatee. Yeah. It's the goatee.
The haircut, too.
And the haircut is similar. Like, both have the same fade.
Yeah.
They're both a similar complexion as well. So you do get, like, there's some similarities there.
I hadn't seen this until you just pulled that up.
It's pretty funny.
It is, because my first thing was, holy crap. I did they kind of do, like, they do look alike.
He didn't like that question, though.
No, he didn't. Maybe he's just not a Jalen Hurts fan. That's okay.
He's from Virginia. Eagle. Well, I guess if you're in Virginia, you're probably a Commanders fan. So you probably, you hate the Eagles.
Division rival,
he
man.
Hates the Eagles.
Just eliminated you in the playoffs pretty unceremoniously.
I didn't even connect those dots there. Yeah, it was a blowout in the championship game.
Dude, I
just ruined it. We're never getting Jonas Sanker back on the show, ever. He's not our guy. He's like, you're not my guy. Not your guy. Don't call me. Oh, which reminds me, I got to go.
Yeah.
I got to DM our guy.
Jackson? What was it? Lampley. Yeah. It's our guy.
I got to DM him. He followed me. It's a rule. It's in the Geneva Convention.
It is.
Someone follows you, you DM him. That's how it goes. I'm going to go find it. Oh, there he is. Okay, got him. All right. Okay. Good stuff. Appreciate that. It's after further review. I do have a quick LSU football recruiting tidbit that I want to get to. We'll do that as we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Yes, they do ED treatments. That's only one very small part of all the things that they do, the services that they offer, the menu of products and services at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Yes, ED treatments. But primarily what they focus on is hormone therapy. So men, women, young, old, it's more about how you feel. There is tremendous research that shows the connection between cardiovascular health, prostate health, with healthy levels of testosterone. As we age, our body produces less of that hormone. And it happens to everyone at different rates. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate. Lowest prices, never any contracts. It is worth going to get your blood labs drawn. Sit down with Gabe, have that conversation about if this is something that's right for you. They have other great therapies as well. Told you about BPC 157. They've got NAD therapy as well. Learn more about how you can live your optimal life. yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
I'm glad you're rolling along with us here. Thanks as always to our friends at Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Louisiana. From bringing home a newborn to end-of-life care, this is in-home expert nursing care that is affordable. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. Set up that discovery call at decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. A little bit of a recruiting tidbit here. Hayes Fawcett tweeted this for those that might have missed it. A 5-star linebacker, Xavier Griffin, has decommitted from USC. He's the number 2 linebacker in the country for 2026. He'd been committed to Southern Cal since July. So with that decommitment, that now means that your Fighting Tigers of LSU are once again the number 1 recruiting class in the country in the On3 composite ranking. So whenever Ja'Kai Anderson decommitted from LSU, it knocked LSU below Southern Cal. With Southern Cal now losing Griffin's commitment, it has knocked Southern Cal below LSU. So that jockeying for the number 1 spot. If you're interested in the top rankings, it's LSU 1, Southern Cal 2, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon. That's your top 5. Then you get into Georgia, Texas A&M, Miami, Alabama, Clemson. That's the top 10 in the recruiting rankings right now. But I think most notably, remember, On3 uses a weighted system. So, for example, Southern Cal has 27 commitments. LSU has 9. What that says is that the 9 commitments LSU has are dramatically more impactful commitments than the 27, that Southern Cal has. So that's how they get the weighted score, because other services may look at the cumulative score of having 26 or 27 commitments, and so it would be ranked higher at this point. I remember there was a few years ago where it was a summer month where Tennessee had 30 commitments, and they were the number 1 class, and everyone else had like 5. So that can happen that way. But for whatever it's worth, LSU's at 9, Southern Cal at 27, Ohio State at 13 commits, Notre Dame 16 commits, Oregon is at 8, Georgia's at 9. And it's pretty obvious why LSU is at the number that they are, because we continue to talk about, and it has been and will continue to be this talking point throughout this entire recruiting cycle. It's that this is a year where there's a bumper crop in the state of Louisiana. And LSU is going to wait on all of these elite prospects from Louisiana that if at any point they want to commit, LSU is going to take the commitment. They got several of them. I mean, Richard Anderson is the number 1 defensive lineman in the country. He's the number 2 player in Louisiana. He's committed. Jabari Mack, number 78 nationally, committed. Aiden Hall, number 88 nationally. Bryson Martinez, number 111 nationally. Kenny Darby, number 148 nationally. All those guys are committed. So, I mean, you have these high-level commitments already, but when you start to look at who they've got to land in this class, it's unfortunate that you've already seen Blaine Bradford pick Ohio State. So it's the number 1, in the composite, he's number 30 overall, the number 4 safety in the country out of Catholic High, who is committed to Ohio State right now. But Lamar Brown is one, of course, you'd love to get, and he's thought to be a very heavy lean toward LSU. Dylan Berryman is a defensive lineman out of Ouachita Parish up in Monroe. He's number 171 nationally. He's a heavy lean to LSU, 93% in the On3 Predictor rankings. Darius McKinley, that's Dom McKinley's younger brother, Darius from Acadiana. He's 98% lean to LSU. Desarian Ellis, an athlete out of Franklin Parish in Winsboro. He, 100% of the projections are in for him to pick LSU if he has a committable offer. He's a 3-star, so we'll see. There's another guy down the list that I think is one we haven't talked a ton about, but it's worth watching, is a guy like Blaise Thomasy, another Catholic High Baton Rouge kid. I'm not just saying it so I can yell Catholic High. But Blaise Thomasy, remember his father, Ryan Thomasy, so he's a legacy, played at LSU. Blaise is a 3-star who has some really big-time offers in the college football landscape. I mean, he's got offers from Florida, where he's being recruited by Rob Sale, by the way. Florida, Kansas State, Oregon, Florida State, Arkansas, Baylor, Georgia Tech, Stanford, Notre Dame, Ole Miss. He's got some big-time offers. It's not all of the elite schools, but that could be one of those guys who is a legacy from Baton Rouge, who is maybe in this era the guy that you can take who's going to stay and grow and develop. Or maybe it's one of those things where maybe he goes to a smaller school, plays, and then hits the portal at some point when he gets older and more experience, and you bring him back. Just a few to file away as we continue through and down this path. But this summer is so impactful. We're getting to that point in the recruiting calendar. If you do follow recruiting, even loosely, June is a massive month because June is when you start to have all the elite camps. So all the top prospects in the country come, and that's when a lot of guys earn their offers or commit. So, we're a couple of weeks out from June, and I think you're going to start to see a lot of movement, as you always do in June in the recruiting cycle. So we'll pay attention to that. But for now, LSU currently holds the number 1 spot in the country in the On3 composite, taking that spot back after 5-star linebacker Xavier Griffin decommitted from USC. So dropping USC from the 1 spot to the 2, and LSU reclaiming the top spot right now. Early, but again, has it right now. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Supper Club, supperclubbr.com, supperclubbr.com. If you, BTR.com, excuse me, supperclubbtr.com, forgive me, supperclubbtr.com. If you want to make your reservations. Great times. The weekend is almost upon us. Graduation season is here. If you want to celebrate the graduate in your family, I have one niece graduating tonight from St. Jude. I have my other niece, Reese Anderman's, graduating from St. Joseph's Academy this weekend. You want to celebrate the graduate in your family, in your life, get on by Supper Club. And remember, dads, Father's Day, we're less than a month away, or right at a month away from Father's Day. It's not too early to start thinking about reservations for Father's Day. So don't wait. You want to treat yourself or have them treat you, recommend Supper Club. Go get you the best steak you've ever eaten in your life. Be treated awesome at Supper Club. SupperClubbTR.com. SupperClubbTR.com for your reservations. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to wear a sport coat. The dress code is stated. You got to wear a collared shirt, but the dress code is stated on the website if you're interested in seeing something like that. But get your reservations, especially on the weekends, especially around holidays. It's going to book up. It's going to fill up. So make sure for Father's Day you get that reservation. Do it now. SupperClubbTR.com for Supper Club. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this this Thursday edition of AFR. Getting close to first pitch with LSU and South Carolina Game 1, an hour and 36 minutes away. Tigers, Gamecocks, Game 1. Game 1 was a TBA for LSU. Looks like they're going to go with the lefty Connor Ware to start. And as I was told before we came on the show today, they'd like to be able to get through the game with Ware, Newt, and Shores. If that combination can get them 9, and maybe Jacob Myers as well, if that combination can get them home, it would really set them up for this weekend. But the onus is really going to be on the LSU bats against a South Carolina team with a staff ERA north of 6. So hopefully the Tiger bats can go out there, swing it well against South Carolina, give your pitching staff a little bit of a cushion, go take Game 1, and then you've got Anderson and Ianson in the queue ready to go. And then at that case, all you need to split to get to 19 wins and lock up a national seed. So getting underway here in an hour and 36 minutes away from first pitch. All right, it is After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. Come back. There was some movement here in the last 24 hours from our guy Ross Dellinger in the college football playoff and how that's going to be structured moving forward. We'll get to that again. Kendall Rogers, 35 minutes from right now in his usual spot. We'll preview the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
All right, y'all. Weekend is just about here. And I'm going to tell you what, man, especially with LSU playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, means you got Sunday off. No baseball watching obligations. How about you get by Clegg's Nursery? We'll be there on Saturday. Every year for Mother's Day, one of the big gifts that I give Erica is we go to Clegg's, and she just buys a whole mess and heap of beautiful flowers. And we go home and we plant them in our outside area, the backyard by the pool, the flower beds, the patio pots, and I can't complain. That's part of her Mother's Day gift. So we'll be there on Saturday. We didn't get to do it this past weekend because of the weather and some of the other obligations we had, but we're going this Saturday to Clegg's. And if you're wondering about what they have at Clegg's, always encourage you, check their Facebook page. They update it every single day, multiple times a day. Whenever they get new shipments of anything in, they've always got it updated there at Clegg's Nursery. They got Johnny Naylor seeds. They've got beautiful plants and flowers and trees and shrubs. You want to add that pop of color or anything you need to accent your outdoor spaces, they've got it. So buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
While I was in Chicago last week at the Barrett Sports Media Summit, a big part of the college football conversation was a report from Ross Dellinger about what seems to be an inevitable expansion of the college football playoff to 16 teams. Also seems like we are going to get to a point where it is a straight seeding instead of the top four conference champions getting the top four seeds in the bye. It'll just be a straight seed 1 to 16. I'm for all of that. You know that. If they go from 16 to 32, I'm for it. Let's have a real playoff like you have in every other sport. Yes, I'm for it. But I think the news today that's more interesting even is Ross Dellinger has been down at Florida, in Florida, in Amelia Island, Florida. And they have ACC spring meetings. By the way, in 2 weeks, it'll be the SEC spring meetings. Jake Hester, our guy, will be there for the SEC spring meetings, filing reports for us here at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, Off the Bench, and LouisianaSports.net. But this was obviously an opportunity for the ACC to use their platform to stump for their point of view. It's just not going to work. I respect what they're doing, not wanting to go down without a fight, making sure that their voice is heard. But it's really hard to argue when you have no leverage. Like, for example, they even had a U.S. representative, Brendan Boyle, tweeting on their behalf. Said, the next time the Big Ten or SEC wants to meet me about NIL, they need to be prepared to first explain to me how they justify trying to rig the CFP. Rig the CFP. At issue here is the fact that in the new format, it appears as though the SEC and the Big Ten are pushing for 4 automatic qualifiers. So the Big Ten and the SEC in a 16-team playoff would make up half the field. 4 SEC, 4 Big Ten. That's 8 of the 16. The Big 12 and the Big 10, the Big 12 and the ACC would each get 2 automatic qualifiers. So 4, 4, 2, 2. That's 12 of the 16. One athletic director told Ross Dellinger, quote, no one likes it. No kidding. NC State head coach Dave Doran told Ross Dellinger, we are fighting for our spots. We believe we deserve 3 automatic qualifiers as a minimum. ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips, quote, I remain steadfast about fairness in the system and access. Out of respect for my colleagues, I want to hold off on commenting about AQs and specific models. Mario Cristobal, quote, granting spots, that makes 0 sense. Football has never been about gifting. It's about earning. Hey, does the ACC get an automatic spot right now in this format? Do they? We're in a 12-team, yeah? Do they get an automatic?
Technically, yes. Highest conference champion.
Yeah. He don't have a problem with that, does he?
No.
Yeah. Pat Narduzzi, quote, I think you should earn your way in. Comes down to the image of the Big Ten and SEC where they are, and there's lack of respect for the ACC. I don't like it. I get all of that. And I'm sympathetic to a degree because they're not wrong in some respect, but it still doesn't matter because you have no leverage. A negotiation and getting what you want is all about leverage. What do you have that someone else wants? That's what this is. How much are you willing to give to get what you want? That's what a negotiation is. What does the ACC have that the SEC and the Big Ten need? Like, would we all just be crushed if Florida State, Clemson, Miami, Syracuse, Duke, Pitt, Louisville, like if these teams are not available for the play? Who cares? Not interested. You know what you need? LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, Southern Cal, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. Like, they've cornered the market. They have all the valuable brands. They even got Oregon and Washington. The best brands from the Big 12 are gone. The best brands from the Pac-12 have joined the Big Ten. There's nothing of value. I should say there's very little of value. And guaranteeing 2 spots would seemingly open the door for Clemson, Florida State, Miami, the brands that you would want to be involved. But no matter how much you yell and scream, it doesn't matter if you don't have anything of value to offer. And that's where these conferences are right now. So I understand going down to Florida and doing your saber rattling, But I remember, and I've told this story many times over the years, I remember when one year we were at SEC Media Days, and the late Mike Slive, who was an amazing commissioner, very transformative, led off the state of the conference, led off SEC Media Days with the state of the conference address, and his whole address was saber-rattling about cost of attendance. And it was a big deal at the time. This is pre-NIL and all, but basically these leagues, the SEC, the power leagues, wanted to be able to pay cost of attendance for their student athletes, meaning in addition to room and board, all that stuff. They wanted to be able to fill those gaps to where they could effectively make money as well. Not like we're seeing now in any way, but I think it might have amounted to a couple grand a semester per athlete, something like that, which was very palatable and doable for major conference schools, but it wasn't for the smaller conference schools. And so what had happened was, as all of these conference commissioners are voting, there were more lower level conferences that were pooling their vote and outvoting the SEC, the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big 12, like the bigger leagues. I mean, the Sun Belt and the WAC and the Mountain West were all outvoting the SEC and the Big Ten and the ACC. And so Mike Slive basically went up at Media Days and was like, we're going to do this, and you're going to vote for it, or we're not going to have a league with you anymore. Like, you're not going to be playing. We're not going to play you. You're not going to be part of the FBS. And cost of attendance very rapidly got voted in because the SEC has leverage. The Big Ten has leverage. The power leagues had leverage in that conversation. In this conversation, you could have a 32-team playoff just with the SEC and the Big Ten. And we'd all be really good with it, wouldn't we? And at whatever opportunity they had, the schools in those leagues that the SEC and the Big Ten would want would find the escape hatch. It's why you've had this litigation going on for years with Florida State and Clemson trying to get the hell out of the ACC. They're fighting for their survival to get away from the ACC, and the ACC's refusing to let them go because they know if they go, they're dead. They're going to be left the same way that the Pac-12 was. So, sure. Is all the things those guys are saying, the coach is saying, fair, this? Sure. But flip it on its head, and I understand I'm in an SEC market. But if you're just looking through this prism, the SEC and the Big Ten are the drivers. It's the highest rated games. It's the most valuable TV deals. It's to sell the tickets and bring the fans and drive the revenue and have the brands. Like, they very strategically gobbled everybody up. Like, the SEC pulled Texas and OU away from the Big 12. The Big Ten pulled USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington away from the Pac-12. Like, all the brands are gone. They're all in these two leagues. So it's not going to change, and it shouldn't change. And that's going to be the cost of doing business. So do you want to be in this format, in this field? If so, these are the terms that are going to be dictated to you. And if not, then go create your own thing, which is the segregation in the sport that we're headed to anyway. And that I've been talking about for 15 years now. A lot of y'all 15 years ago pointed, laughed, and called me stupid. It was just hard to conceptualize what it would look like with college football fragmenting away from the NCAA and conferences and everything and just existing as one college football. That's what's going to happen. And every single time we have one of these conversations, it just becomes more clearer that this is what's going to happen. Just a matter of when and how it's structured. So I do suspect that this thing they're talking about, the 4-4-2-2, 4 auto bids for the SEC and the Big Ten, 2 for the ACC and the Big 12, I do think that's what's going to happen because that's what the SEC and the Big Ten are championing. And they're going to get their way. And they should get their way because they hold all the cards. But the best thing for college football, like eventually what's going to happen, is when all of these conferences are dissolved and you just have one homogenous blob of the top 40, 50, 60 teams, whatever it is, that all exist as one group like the NFL does. You have one NFL TV contract. Now, it's with different networks, but understand, like the NFC South doesn't have its own TV contract. the NFL has a TV contract. Well, college football is going to have a TV contract with all the networks, the same way the NFL does. And it's going to be invite only, and you're going to see only the best games, and you're never going to have to watch LSU against Grambling or Nichols or Tech or Southeastern ever again. And we're all going to be better for it. And the lower schools, go have your bake sales. Like, fund yourself. That's how it should be. Do we live in a democratic society? Like, are we free market capitalists? Why are we robbing from football so we can have non-revenue sports spending far beyond their means? It's an absurdity. No business model would operate like that ever, anywhere. Let everyone else operate like club sports. You want to have a rowing team? Go fundraise. And if that means you can't fly private and stay at nice hotels, okay. Sorry. Do you want to play or not? We've gotten away. We've lost our way. It's the best way I've heard it said. College athletics doesn't have a revenue problem. It has a spending problem. All of these problems are rooted in the fact that football is funding non-revenue sports, spending far beyond their means. Why are you paying mid-six-figure salaries to coaches from sports that lose money? It doesn't make sense. It is a nonsensical operation. You need to get back to the way it should be. That will be equitable for everybody. All right, stepping off my soapbox. After further review. I mean, I can see it clearly. Can't you? Oh, it's because you haven't gone to the Williamson Eye Center. How you like that transition, huh? How you like that transition? You know, a little ding for that one? I like that transition. WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. Call Dr. Blake Williamson over at the Williamson Eye Center. Locations all over South Louisiana. Newest location up there in St. Francisville. So that way, if you have surgery, need your post-operative care, you don't have to drive to Zachary. They got you right there in St. Francisville. Of course, the location right there on Suma off of Bluebonnet on the Baton Rouge General Campus. When you turn on Suma, the building right there on the right, that first two floors of that building are the Williamson Eye Center. They're state-of-the-art dry eye center. They're optical center. So if you want to go have your eye exam, you can have it there. Want to buy contacts or glasses, you could do that as well. Or if you want to have a refractive procedure to be able to ditch the contacts and glasses forever, the Williamson Eye Center can make that happen. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. You still have Tigers in the pros. We come back as we wrap up hour number 2. Kendall Rogers in 18 minutes. Preview the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference. The biggest series, what's at stake for the teams. Of course, D1 Baseball earlier this week released their Field of 64 projection. The Aggies among the first 4 out. A massive weekend there for Texas A&M. What about the top of the league, who's vying for national seeds, all that stuff? We'll get into it with Kendall Rogers again about 18 minutes from right now. Mike Triplett will join us next hour. We'll talk a little Saints schedule, get Mike's reaction to it all. We'll go through it. As the New Orleans Saints, if you missed this earlier, we have a write-up at LouisianaSports.net. 17 games in 2025. The New Orleans Saints, in the early lines from DraftKings, the New Orleans Saints are favored in 1 of the 17 games. 1. The home game against the Jets. Going to be a long year. All right, it's after further review. We'll do Tigers and the pros next.
After further review.
Check out our friends over at Action Industries, a proud partner of LSU Athletics. Great local Louisiana company that's been in business for 43 years. Action, INDINC.com. That's Action, INDINC.com for Action Industries, Action Industries Incorporated, Action, INDINC.com. And we talk all the time as well about the Advanced Turnaround Group. I was having lunch not long ago with my buddy Chuck and Chad, Jordan, Erica over at Action Industries. And we really kind of went deep into the conversation about the Advanced Turnaround Group because we're into turnaround season really now through about October. And if you work in plants, you know that. Well, the next time you're looking for someone to bid your turnaround job, remember our friends over at Action Industries. They have 24-hour availability for emergencies. They offer specialty welding. You'll get personal attention. And the people there at the Advanced Turnaround Group, their entire careers are centered around turnaround work. It's the Advanced Turnaround Group at Action Industries.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Always appreciate Blazia and our friends over at Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Based out of Baton Rouge, expanding. New Orleans, Lafayette, decisioncriticalbr.com. Remember, they're now offering therapeutic phlebotomy if you're on testosterone therapy, if your doctor recommends you're giving blood so you can reduce your red blood cell count. They'll do that. They'll come to you. The whole process takes about 30 minutes, but they can come to your home, your office, wherever. Decisioncriticalbr.com. Not just healthcare for your lifestyle. Muso. Los Tigres de los Pros. Better nail it. Where's the line?
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Pros.
You know, I don't think that was it, but
I guarantee that was it.
Okay.
Took 4 years of Spanish.
All right. Alex Bregman. No.
Yep.
Nope. 3-4 a night ago.
Claiming him.
With his 11th home run of the season. That's back-to-back games now for Bregman with a homer. All 3 hits came off of reigning Cy Young, AL Cy Young winner, Tarek Skubal. All 3 of them. So
heard of it.
They're pretty good. RBI, Bregman up over 314. Still doing work. Dylan Cruz turns into 500 night. No.
Oh, on it.
2 out of 4. Both of those singles did drive in a run and would come around to score as well. Split time in center and in right. His teammate, Cole Henry, 2/3 innings, scoreless relief yet again. Did walk a batter, but also punched one out. He continues to just have a really, really solid debut season with the Washington Nationals. Josh Smith. There you go. There it is. Yep.
Well, that is a terrible picture of Cole Henry. You see that? Go back. Yeah. And that is not that. That's Josh Smith. There's.
Oh.
I mean, that is.
Look at the stash.
How about that? Doesn't look anything like it.
That was horrible.
Flow in the back. How about that?
He kind of looks like Aaron Rodgers.
Show flow.
We got to do something about that. Josh Smith was 2 for 5 a night ago for the Texas Rangers. Came around to score one time. Both of his hits singles as well. 314 the average there for Smith as he continues his blistering first half. Schmitty.
Gotta be.
Or was it Smitty? Would he be Smitty?
Well.
Okay. Sure. Aaron Nola. There you go. I don't really know what's going on with Aaron Nola. He gave up 12 hits and 9 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings last night. That's just not very good. I mean, there's really no other around that. He is 1-7, and the ERA has ballooned to over 6 so far here through the first month and some change of the season. Yes, he will. I have plenty of faith there, but that's just jarring to see that type of line for Aaron Nola. And we wrap it up. Naz Reid.
Should have stayed. 8
points and 4 boards. 21 minutes off the bench. The Timberwolves win that series 4-1. They are off to the Western Conference Finals for the second consecutive season.
Sit down, Steph.
He kind of already was. He was hurt.
Sit down, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Sit down, Draymond. Enjoy the offseason.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't even know who this guy is who was their leading scorer last night. I've never seen Brandon Podziemski in my life. Who is that? Okay.
I didn't watch a lot of the second game because I was recording Locked on LSU. I did watch the first game, though.
That's Tigers and Pros.
Presented by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Listen, if you're buying 100 acres to build your family's dream home, you want that rural lifestyle while working in the city, you could do it. Happens a lot. Folks in New Orleans want to work in the city, love the city, but want to live maybe on the North Shore. They've got an office in Amite. Talk to a local landlender there at First South Farm Credit. Buy that land, build your family's dream home, commute into the city. Best of both worlds. People in Baton Rouge do the same. You want to buy 20 acres in St. Francisville? Do it. First South Farm Credit can help. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, or you can log on to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. They've been doing it since 1916, y'all. 2 world wars, the Great Depression, economic booms, downturns, natural disasters, but they've stood tall since 1916. You need to buy land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. A schedule release for the NFL yesterday, and everybody's kind of gotten into this thing now where they do the schedule release videos. How do we feel about the schedule release videos?
I think strikes and gutters, and a little bit more gutters than strikes, to be honest with you, with the schedule release videos. There were a few that I liked this year, but most of them, just okay. You know what they're doing? They're taking way too long to get to the schedule these days.
I feel like
the Ravens was 7 minutes long.
Saints was 4.5. Wasn't the Titans who did the
on Broadway?
And people mispronounce the name. That was great.
That was hilarious.
Maybe the Nets did it too in the NBA.
Maybe.
And it was so great. And I think everyone's trying to do their own thing now, and they're just missing a lot. The Saints, if you missed it, they had a schedule release press conference, and Kellen Moore announced a new coach, Coach Kazzy, who basically was just berating all the reporters for asking dumb questions. Our guy Ross Jackson got in on the mix. Here's that.
Talk. Next question.
Coach, you weren't here in 2019 with the no call, but I'm sure you're familiar with the way that the fans feel about the Rams, yeah?
We obviously have a ton of respect for the Rams, and we'll take that on and prepare like every other opponent.
Let me tell you something, Baldy. No, I wasn't here for the no call. Do I understand how the fans feel? I got a feeling. The guy was 10 yards, the ball was 10 yards away before he even tackled the guy. It was blatant. Speaking of no calls, you will not be called on to ask another question. How about that? Next.
I mean, they really went after Ross there,
They
being
did.
a Baldy.
I mean, golly.
Ross is like the nicest guy in the world.
He really is.
I mean, how are you like teeing off on Ross Jackson?
Kind of an unnecessary shot there
felt like
at our guy, to be honest with you.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
All right, so what else did you like?
I liked the Bills. I thought the Bills was awesome. So if you didn't see it, it featured Allen Iverson but like the beginning of it was Josh Allen shooting hoops, and the GM calls him. And he's like, "Hey, you got any ideas for the schedule?" He's like, "Just use AI, like artificial intelligence." And the
Sure,
GM
got it.
gets Allen Iverson, and all it is AI just holding the piece of paper up. And he's like, "This is the Bills' schedule," and that was it. And they used AI, but I don't know. I thought that was clever and cool. And I mean, who doesn't love Allen Iverson? So I mean,
This is
I did
it.
like
Hold
that
on.
one.
Here it is. Power by. Here you go. Here it is. Oh, we're out of time.
We are.
Oh, sorry. I ran out of time. Sorry.
After further review.
Kind of want to watch that now. Or I can tell you about Lee Michaels. I can tell you about Lee Michaels, and you can watch the Josh Allen schedule release presented by AI, Allen Iverson. Or to celebrate the schedule release, maybe you can go buy a beautiful piece of jewelry at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. There's no reason why you would do that. I don't know why literally anybody to celebrate a schedule release would go to Lee Michaels. But if you are thinking of popping the question, is there any better way to express your love than a beautiful diamond from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry? You know, one of the things that's always important to remember, and I mention it often about Lee Michaels, when you buy a diamond at Lee Michaels, every diamond is a natural mined diamond. Scott goes on diamond buying trips all over the world to find the finest diamonds from the finest mines in the world. Never any lab or man-made diamonds in the case, not at Lee Michaels. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. It's win of the season's done for the Nuggets tonight, down 3-2 in the NBA's Western Conference semifinals to the Thunder, heading into Game 6. One reason Denver is in this position, it's failed to capitalize on monster gains by Nikola Jokic, including his 44-point, 15-rebound, 5-assist performance in the Game 5 loss. ESPN radio host Myron Medcalf.
I just don't know where the other guys are. Oklahoma City has been going to the next guy all season, and that's why they ended up winning the Western Conference by 16 games. The Nuggets aren't that. It's Jokic, then Murray, and then you need a third guy to consistently step up. Who will that be? I mean, after Aaron Gordon, really a fourth guy.
Nuggets don't have much bench depth outside of Russell Westbrook and Peyton Watson. Game 6, 8 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8:30 Eastern ESPN. Denver point guard Jamal Murray questionable due to illness. First round of the Players' Championship. Live coverage continues on ESPN and ESPN+. Cam Davis tops the leaderboard at 6 under. Scotty Scheffler 4 back. Xander Schauffele 7 off the lead. Rory McIlroy 9 back of Davis.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Cassie Spazzali.
I'm walking here.
Musup. And Mr. Toby Templey. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Mike Triplett here in about 15 minutes from right now. We'll talk about the Saints' schedule release. We do it every Thursday. We talk some college baseball with Kendall Rogers from D1Baseball.com. Preeminent site, preeminent writer for college baseball. Good enough to give us some of his time each week. Hey, man, how are you?
Doing excellent. How about you guys?
Man, considering the way it went down with LSU and Arkansas last week and what's ahead this weekend, most people feeling pretty good about the number one team in the country. I guess a quick note here on LSU, South Carolina. Kendall, is there any realistic possibility of happening to LSU this weekend what happened to A&M last weekend against Missouri?
I mean, I think if you're Jay Johnson, you look at that 8M series against Missouri last week and then go, that's what happens when you're not laser focused. I mean, if you look at 8M in that series, the first 3 innings, they hit 4 home runs, and it was like they kind of felt like Missouri's going to lay down the rest of the weekend. Next thing you know, not only do you lose the series, but you get swept. So I think that, if LSU just plays its brand of baseball, I'd be very surprised if South Carolina upset them in that series, frankly, because South Carolina also is unlikely to have Ethan Petrie for much of the weekend, if not the entire weekend.
For LSU, what do they have to do this weekend to feel like they have locked up a national seed going to Hoover?
I feel like if they just win the series, I think it's done. I mean, I think if you look at the overall metrics, you look where they're going to finish in conference, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be. And, a lot of people don't like that answer outside of Baton Rouge, but the fact of the matter is, for a team to drop out of the top 8, someone has to take one of the top 8 seeds. And right now, there just are not very many compelling cases outside of those top 8 teams at the moment. I mean, if you look at Coastal Carolina, they've certainly been very consistent in Kevin Schnall's first season. But again, the Sun Belt hasn't been very good outside the top 3. I think that really hurts them in those quads. Clemson, got off to a really good start this year, but has really stumbled as of late with 3 straight series losses. So I just don't think they can get right, back in the mix as of now. If they did, I think they would just knock out an ACC team. So somebody's going to have to take it from them. And right now, I just don't know who that somebody could be. I guess someone could sweep this weekend and sweep through their conference tournament. But, I mean, the percentages are pretty small that would happen and knock one of those teams out.
let's talk about what's on the line this weekend around the conference. Over at D1 Baseball, you all had your field of 64 this week, and you had Texas A&M among the first 4 out after being swept this past weekend. So with Texas A&M this weekend, what do they have to do to get back in?
I think after getting swept by Missouri, I think not only do they have to win 2 this weekend, I think they're going to have to win a game or 2 in Hoover. I just don't think that's good enough when you look at just how bad that series was. And honestly, we were talking to committee chairman J.R. Teague yesterday for a podcast, and he watched that series. So, I mean, if anybody watched that, you saw a team that did not look like a team who really cared too much about playing in the postseason. So I think they've got to win 2 this weekend and also, a couple of games in Hoover. If they sweep this weekend, which, it sounds crazy, but, I mean, Georgia got whipped by Florida 2 out of 3 last year in Athens in the final week of the season. If they swept the series, I think they would obviously be in. They'd put them at 13 wins, and you'd have series wins over Georgia, LSU, Arkansas, Tennessee. Kind of hard to beat that. So I do not expect them to sweep, by the way.
Okay. Among the national seeds you all project, Texas, LSU, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Georgia, Auburn. That's 6 of the 8.
Yeah.
Whew. By the way, has that ever happened?
I do not believe so.
So who has the most of those 6? Who do you feel could be in most danger of dropping out? I don't know, Kendall, you tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know that there's someone who could get in, but who among those might be in most danger of dropping out this weekend?
That's a tough one. Maybe Georgia, just because I think if you lose the A&M series, I feel like Georgia's been fine the second half of the season. I don't feel like Georgia's been great. So, I mean, I think what the committee's going to have to do with these SEC teams is they're going to have to play the eyeball test because all of these resumes are very comparable. For instance, Georgia swept Auburn. Auburn took 2 or 3 from Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt swept Georgia at home. So, when you have that many different, prongs to this whole argument, I think you got to go by the eyeball test. So I would say probably Georgia. And, again, I think the only 2 teams, frankly, for me, that could knock one of these 8 teams out would be maybe Oregon. Oregon has been awesome the last half of the season. They again, we talk about the eyeball test, which, our team said will matter. Oregon certainly passes that eyeball test. They're very physical.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, is with us. Looking at the host positions right now, Tennessee and Florida are both 2 seeds, but if I'm looking at your projection correctly, they're the top of the 2 seeds. So Tennessee this weekend is at Arkansas. Florida's at home against Alabama, so both have really nice opponents, ranked series, RPI opportunities, all that. What type of probability are we looking at for those teams to get back into the host conversation?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me with Tennessee is if you look at the way they started the season or what they've done over the last, 3 or 4, weeks. I mean, that is a team that they lose that series this weekend, they would have lost 6 out of its last 7 series. And I just don't know how in the world as a committee, and again, Tennessee passes the eyeball test. I don't know how as the committee you put a team as a host that has lost 6 out of the last 7 SEC series. So obviously, if you lost, let's say 5 out of your last 7, you at least have that Arkansas series. It's kind of that final act, to your play, so to speak. So I think they need to win that series this weekend. I think if they lose it, I think they are done. Florida, I mean, they're coming from a position of weakness just because they got off to such a horrible start in conference. But again, I mean, if they can get to 16, 17 wins, and the RPI is already there, and they, by the way, they have Scott Strickland on the committee, they could do it. But they're going to have to take care of business against Alabama and probably go on a run in Hoover. And by the way, Caden Sorrell just hit a 3-run bomb. So A&M already up on Georgia 3-0 in the first, just as I was saying at Foley Field.
Was it to the Biddy Ballpark field and right?
Yeah, the little hill. Yeah, I don't know what they call it, but there's nobody on the hill, so I'm guessing school is very much out in Athens.
Well, it's also like 280 to right field. I'm exaggerating, but not by much.
I don't know what's shorter, that place or Dick Hauser in Tallahassee.
Okay, Texas.
Yeah.
They're going to be a national seed. I'm not talking about that, but they've lost their Friday night Ace and Spencer, and now they've lost back-to-back series. Where's the level of concern with Texas for a national title contender?
I mean, they would be behind at least Arkansas and LSU in terms of our national championship contenders right now. I just think without Spencer, they could not afford a big injury. Without Spencer, it puts Ruger Riojas in a position to where he has to give them a lot of length. It puts Max Scrubs in a position to where he's going to have to pitch a couple of times a weekend. And, Blantis is okay because they're just going to use him in the back of the games. But, Ruger and, Max are good. They're not, amazing. They're not Garrett Spencer. So I think they're going to be a couple arms short of being able to win a national championship. But I still believe in the offense. I know their offense has struggled as of late, but, they're very opportunistic. They're going to work a lot of counts, which is kind of Jim's style. And I think that bodes well for the postseason. But pitching-wise is where I think they're just going to be a little short.
Kendall, biggest storyline in the SEC this weekend. Who's got the most at stake?
Well, I think the biggest storyline to me would have to be A&M. I mean, you could talk about Tennessee hosting, but, for a preseason number one team to not make the NCAA tournament, it has not happened since 1991. So they give you an idea how uncommon that is. So, we'll see what they do this weekend against Georgia.
Who was the team in 1991?
I believe it was a West Coast team. I think it was like maybe Fullerton or something like that. It was some obscure team.
What about, actually, same question nationally, who has the most on the line this weekend? Sounds like maybe you're leaning Oregon?
I'm going to go the team that Oregon is playing. I'm going to go Iowa. Iowa is one of the more intriguing teams in college baseball. It leads the Big Ten by a game and a half this weekend, but the RPI for the Hawkeyes sitting at 68. And I just don't think they would get in the postseason with a series loss this weekend, even after winning the regular season championship of the Big Ten. I mean, the RPI would be in the 60s. They played the number 258 non-conference sheet of schedule. When you're a northern team like that, you have got to play better teams in non-conference. So Iowa could be one of those rare clubs that wins a power conference but finds itself outside of the field. But if they win that series this weekend against Oregon, I think they're going to get in.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. You'll get him on Twitter at Kendall Rogers. I will let you go watch all of the baseball. Thank you, as always, for your time.
You got it, brother. Have a good weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You do the same. That's Kendall Rogers, the best, man. If you're not subscribed to D1Baseball.com, great time to get subscribed at D1Baseball.com as the postseason is here upon us. All right, it is after further review. We are glad you're with us. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Mike Triplett will join us next on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You can always call them at 888-8888. That's 888-8888 for Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Of course, Gordon is Louisiana's big truck lawyer. We know that. He's got 7,000 five-star reviews. That makes Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys the most reviewed law firm in Louisiana. And why wouldn't they be? They've handled 75,000 cases. They've recovered over $3 billion in damages for their clients. They've been serving Baton Rouge and all of Louisiana now for more than 30 years. They're local, homegrown attorneys with big firm resources to get you everything that you deserve. Of course, continues to give back to our community in so many ways. So why would you do anything else other than get Gordon? So you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
NFL schedule release on Wednesday. Great time to bring on Mike Triplett, New Orleans Football. Get a little reaction convo. Mike, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. Appreciate it as always. I think the question everyone pondering, why were you not in the schedule release video?
New Orleans football was well represented. We didn't want a full takeover. Come on, man.
I mean, I feel like you've been in the market longer than Nick has, so I kind of feel like it should have been you there, man. I don't know.
Well, I think I need the anger guy to bring this up.
Now this would have been a really good angle for Coach Rob, whatever they called him. Like that.
Like I storm into the room and I say, "Hey, why didn't anyone tell me about that?"
Or he could have just been like, "Hey, why isn't Triplett here? That's a terrible question. Next time, only Triplett gets to come in here." Like that would have been a good thing to do, you know?
Fine.
I'm just saying.
Well, look, I'm glad you were thinking of me.
I'm just giving the creative liberties here to the Saints creative staff. They need it. Okay, so schedule's out. Biggest takeaway? What did you think?
Well, welcome to reality, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
One of only 3 teams with no primetime games, you know, and as it should be, you know, they're not good right now. But like, I was a little surprised at some of the reaction to that. The Saints are doing what a lot of us, well, I should say I've wanted them to do for about a year now, and a lot of fans have wanted them to do for about 3 or 4 years now, and that's take a step back and rebuild and reset and don't spend too much money and go with a cheap rookie quarterback. And they're doing it now. And there is maybe a little be careful of what you wish for with that. It's going to be tough to watch for a little while. But you know, you got to do that if you're going to push a reset button. And I think it'll be, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the fact that like 5 or 6 or 7 wins might be exciting, as long as it means the young players are showing progress and they're winning games they're not supposed to. Expectations really, set your mind for everything. But welcome to this reality. The Saints are on the bottom right now.
With Cleveland and Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's been 25 years, Mike, since the Saints last won.
Well, look, that number is getting thrown around a lot, but they just changed the rule last year where every team was required to have a Thursday game for so long. So it might have well, it wouldn't have happened to this team, but part of the reason that the streak was so long is because every team was required to have a Thursday game for a long time. But the Saints probably would have had a primetime game regardless during that entire stretch. Obviously, with Peyton and Brees.
That's fair. You could go back. The Katrina year obviously would have been one of the. I mean, it was a miserable season, but at that point, the Saints were still fairly closely removed from a playoff appearance. God bless Aaron Brooks, and I'd rather not invoke those names and all those memories, but that's kind of, it feels like it's where they are. Mike, do you feel like, so I agree with you that they're doing what you said, what I many others have said, which is it's time to reset. And but do you think this is something that they are doing of their own volition, or something that circumstantially was forced upon them down this path?
Both, mostly the second part. I mean, they would never want to be the tear-down team. They don't ever want to be the Browns, Panthers, Jets, who am I forgetting? A couple of those things, the Bears, the teams that just never get it right for decades and decades. They believe more in the, be like the Ravens, the Steelers, the Packers, the Chiefs, the Eagles. Your down years are 7-win seasons, and then you have a good draft, and you're back to winning division titles again. That's their belief. But they have not gone on any spending sprees. I mean, their last two free agent periods have been, a couple of guys that did not cost much. Last year it was basically just Chase Young, and this year it was basically just Justin Reed and a trade for Devon Godshaw. They haven't traded a, future first-round pick in a couple of years. They didn't trade up once this year for the first time in a long time. So I think there is a recognition in clutching and using those resources to rebuild this roster. But they did not intend to tear it down quite the way they have with no quarterback all of a sudden.
Yeah. Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. You can get him at Mike Triplett. What stretch on the schedule looks most daunting?
I mean, the beginning. There's a lot of easy games on the schedule. They have the second easiest schedule in the entire NFL because they're in the NFC South and because they're playing the fourth place schedule. But I think two of their hardest home games are the Cardinals and the 49ers, and they have to get them in weeks 1 and 2. And then their first two road trips, they're all the way across the country at Seattle and all the way across the country at Buffalo. So that's a tough stretch to start the season when you probably really want to put a couple wins under your belt, get buy-in, get momentum, get some energy. If they're going to win games, they're going to be tough to come by in the first month of the season.
Yeah. If you flip it and ask what's more manageable, what part of the schedule do you think, okay, they could probably sneak out a few there?
Yeah, I mean, right after that, home against the Giants, home against the Patriots, and later you get the Panthers twice, later you get the Jets. There's a lot of later you get the Titans. You get to play a lot of last place teams as this season goes on, starting right away with weeks 5 and 6. But it starts a little tough.
Oh. They also avoid the road cold weather games during the cold weather months.
Yeah,
that's good, right? The Florida teams are late in the season.
The two things I always look for, during the last 18 years of covering a team that was expected to contend for the division title is cold weather games and short week travel weeks. There's nothing worse than the Monday night game on the road, and then you got 5 days to play the next game, or the Thursday night game in Arizona, or the Thursday night game in LA. A lot of those, man, this is awful kind of travel weeks. And there's none of those in this season. But if you don't play on Thursday nights, you don't play on Monday nights, you got full week of rest all season long.
What do you think about the bye in week 11?
Perfect. I mean, the later the better, I'd say. So, I mean, it's just about everything you'd handpick is handpicked, except for, like I said, the opponents early on. One thing I would like to do is, maybe knock off one of those road trips early. Getting the 2 home games in the first 2 weeks of the season, if you're not ready to take advantage, then that means the rest of the season you've got all 9 of your road games still to come. So, you got to take advantage of get home in weeks 1 and 2. You got to be ready to take advantage. That's the one thing I would probably tweak if I got to handwrite my own schedule.
We also saw over at DraftKings that the Saints are favored with the early lines in just one game, the game against the Jets. If I asked you today, I'm not going to clip this and hold you to it forever. I'm just curious, looking at it the way, have you done the whole scribble a W and L?
I mean, we just don't know enough about this team to do that. But I picked 5 wins just because it's hard not to win 5. I mean, this team was a mess in the second half of last season when they had no Eric McCoy, no Chris Olave, no Marshawn Lattimore, no whoever else I'm forgetting the list that they didn't have. And they went into Tampa Bay with Spencer Rattler and damn near beat the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. They spotted the Washington Commanders an entire first half with Jake Haener before he got pulled. They almost beat the team that went to the Final Four. You're going to win a couple you don't deserve to win. You're going to beat a Giants or a Jets or a Titans or a Patriots. So they're going to win games. I don't think they're going to be a 1-16 team. I was a little surprised they're not favored at home against New England and the Giants. I don't think they're really worse than them. I think people kind of forget that this team isn't a total disaster. I think a lot of people look at quarterback, but they get all those guys back healthy. I mean, Chris Olave and Eric McCoy, they could have an actual good offensive line. Alvin Kamara and DeMario Davis. I mean, when healthy, this team shouldn't just be getting trampled by other bad teams.
One thing is for certain: the conversation has shifted dramatically that we're having about this team, and it will be. It's going to be a different kind of season watching them as they play it out. But we'll be here for it. He's Mike Triplett. He'll be there for it at Mike Triplett and NewOrleans.football, NewOrleans.football. Always appreciate it, man. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Be well. That's Mike Triplett. It's AFR. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. I tell you all the time about certified pre-owned. Got a text just a bit ago, actually, from Kerry Manuel, who's the certified pre-owned manager over at South Point. So they've got the best selection of pre-owned inventory and pre-owned certified Volkswagens that they've had in a long time. Atlas, Tiguan, Cross Sports, Jettas, Taos, they got them all. And get the remaining 450 factory plus a 2-year, 24,000-mile factory warranty included with your purchase. So as we always say, man, if you're buying pre-owned, you can go shop the used car lots, but the quality of the pre-owned vehicles over at South Point Volkswagen, man, it is worth taking a look. SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com, airline just north of Highland, or online at SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, I appreciate Mike for a couple of minutes here. He's right, and we sort of talked about it, I think, at the beginning of the show today when I was giving a few takeaways to the schedule. It's just, this is going to be a different year. It's just going to be a year where you're not going into it trying to crunch numbers about how the Saints can be a playoff team, because every piece of evidence is suggesting this is not going to be a good football team. Now, Mike's right in the respect of saying, yes, but this is still a team when healthy that's got good players. Taliesin Fuanga can be a good left tackle. You drafted Kelvin Banks. Eric McCoy's a very good center. Is Alvin Kamara still performing at age 30? Olave was a 1,000-yard receiver his first 2 years before he got injured. So there's some things to like offensively. I don't know at all what you are at quarterback. And you're old on defense with a whole new system coming in. So, I mean, the people that know have this team pegged over under 4.5. So 4 or 5 wins feels like that's about right. It's about the ceiling for this team. Rookie quarterback very likely taking the snaps. That just generally isn't a recipe for a lot of success. So I think our conversation about this team is going to be less about where are the pitfalls that could keep them from a home game in the playoffs to, okay, what are we looking for that's showing growth and progress and building a foundation for the future? That's kind of what this season feels like it's going to be for the New Orleans Saints, which we haven't said in 20 years. Whew. It's different. All right. It's after further review. Thursday shows presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. We're not going to break. The lineup is posted. LSU and South Carolina, they're 30 minutes away from first pitch, game 1 of the series. It will be Connor Ware on the bump for the Tigers. We'll run through what LSU is going to do 1 through 9. We'll do that when we come back on AFR.
WFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Always love sharing 5-star Google reviews, and my goodness, they've got tons of them. This one's from Randy Veth, who says, as usual, the staff from 1 Hour AC was exceptional. Cody Smith was very courteous, knowledgeable, and helpful. That's another 5-star Google review from a company that's got more 5-star Google reviews than anyone. Jesus Magalon said, Mr. David Twilbeck is an excellent representative, a professional of his trade. Quite satisfied with the good employees that 1 Hour AC sends to my house. Respectful, polite, especially know what they are doing. Please keep up the good work. That's what I like to see. And another 5-star Google review for River City's 1 Hour Air. You want the best technicians, the best service, best people coming to your house to take care of your home's AC? You want River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. 752-0001.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life, so why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Excited to get on the road. I think it's one of the best ballparks in the conference. Love playing there. Good opportunity for our team after 3 of the last 4 at home. And did a good job, obviously, winning 3, top 12 RPI series. As far as their team, ton of talent, in my opinion. Jake McCoy, really good left-hander, up to 96. Ethan Petrie, who had played the last couple weeks, I'd assume he'll play this weekend. One of the best hitters in the conference. So another life in the SEC, another weekend.
Jay Johnson on earlier this week before LSU went up to Columbia, South Carolina. It is worth mentioning, as Jay said there about Ethan Petrie. Petrie will not play this weekend against LSU. Paul Maneri disclosed that to us on Wednesday here on AFR when he was a guest, and that's a quantifiable loss where you could look at, it's the way I phrased it to Coach, was you could look at the homers and the batting average and all that stuff, but how do you qualify it? And it's just a big presence in the lineup. It makes you decide. When Ethan Petrie's there, you're going to pitch to him, you're going to pitch around him. It forces an action upon the opponent. Just him being in the lineup, you take that out, it is significant for a team that struggled to score runs all season. The lineup has been posted for LSU today, and well, there's one thing about it I don't love, which you could probably guess already, but we'll get to it here. So, Curiel Jones-Dickinson at the top, no surprise there. Well, I say no surprise there, but Jay's tinkered at the top even recently, but they go with it. Curiel Jones-Dickinson. Fry will DH and back cleanup. Hernandez catching, of course. Then Josh Pearson getting the start and right. Bottom third of the order is Milam, Braswell, and Stanfield. So not a lot of change there. The things that we always sort of look at is who's going to DH, who's going to play right, and then in what order. So Curiel Jones-Dickinson, Fry, Hernandez, Pearson, Milam, Braswell, Stanfield, and Connor Ware will get the ball for LSU tonight. I've said it enough. I don't need to belabor the point. You all know how I feel. I think Jake Brown should be your everyday right fielder. You get to this point where you're in the middle of May. It's what Jay's going to do. He's going to do what he wants to do. I don't think it makes sense. I think he's wrong. He's the head coach. He's won a championship. He's won a lot of games. I just can't ever fathom having a guy like Jake Brown, who is as talented, toolsy as the guys you have on the roster, who can impact the game defensively, on the base paths, with his power, his ability to hit for average, and you sit that guy. I can't, he should be in the lineup every day. Hopefully it doesn't matter today because you're playing a South Carolina team that's just not very good. But I know it's not a great explanation, but it's just the whole thing what happened last weekend with Missouri and Texas A&M. It was just so, A&M was peaking, had dug themselves all the way out of this hole and looked like they were going to earn a regional berth, and they're at home against Missouri, which should have been a sweep for A&M because everybody's swept. They had been swept 8 times. Yo, compute that in your brain. Missouri had been swept 8 straight week, not lost, they swept 0-24. And they go to A&M, and they were down. They put together a 6-run ninth, win game 1, and A&M was just deflated and lost the next 2. Not close. So I'm not saying that's going to happen to LSU this weekend, but it is a cautionary tale to say, hey, you go play with your food, you can get bit. That's what happened to A&M. It cost them a bunch, but it's also not a very good A&M team. They got talent. They're just not a good team, as we've seen throughout the course of this year. I think LSU is a talented team and a good team, and should take care of business this weekend against South Carolina. I am interested in seeing a lot of these guys. And, there's 2 guys in particular who I'm going to be keeping an eye on this weekend. It's Chase Shores is one of them. And Jacob Myers is the other. But one of the reasons about both those guys, we keep talking about you need 8, right? You need 8 guys that you're going to count on. And I think those are 2 guys that can join that mix because their stuff is so dynamic if they command it. And I know that's a giant if, because if you don't command it, then it's worthless. 100 doesn't matter if you don't know where it's going. But those 2 guys can be so impactful, and it kind of feels like, knock on for Micah, hold your breath, whatever. It feels like Shores, past couple times out, has started to find it a little bit. I know he pitched twice last weekend, but the second time out on Sunday was really good. And Jay was asked earlier this week about Shores, and if he's just more comfortable in the bullpen than he was as a starter.
I think he's just getting better, and I would say that for a large portion of the pitching staff, but definitely in Chase's case. He gave us a real chance to win 2 games that he pitched in this week, and we did come back and win, largely because of his contribution. And then I thought he was outstanding on Saturday. I didn't quite have in my head he was going to go as long as he did, but again, I thought he was getting better. There was kind of a sweet spot with Arkansas with him that we felt like he could be successful in that series, and he was, and put us in a great position to come back and win. So maybe a better question for him. I just see him as getting better, and that's great news for us.
That is great news. If you're thinking through the guys you're going to count on and who are the arms that are going to step up in the postseason as you need it. You could look down we focus so much on the walks throughout the year, but you could look down the roster and recognize that a lot of those guys are going to be your up 10, down 10 guys. It's just going to be guys that you're not going to see. Who are going to be the guys that you count on to win you a tournament in a regional, a super regional, or an Omaha? And you've narrowed that list. And what you need are the guys who have been uneven this year to be good 2 out of the 3 times you give them the baseball. And Chase Shores is in that number. And Jacob Myers is in that number. And I feel like you know what you're going to get with the guys that certainly your top 4, Anderson, Ianson, Cowan, Evans. You know what you're going to get with those 4 guys. And it feels like Newt is in that mix as well. And the guys we're talking about here. Yeah. It's a big opportunity. And I agree with him. So much of it is just comfort and mound time. And he's needed to get that, and he's gotten better. He's gotten more refined, and hopefully that sticks here as they move into the postseason. So Connor Ware will get the ball tonight, but at some point we will see Shores, and hopefully he continues to build and stack good outings. You know, I don't know what the ceiling is for Shores in this year's draft, but a guy who's 6'8" and throws 100 is going to get picked, and he's going to sign. But you would really love to see him go out and maximizing his time here in what will be his final run here at LSU. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us. Our Thursday shows are brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. This is healthcare for your lifestyle. These are the expertly trained nurses that will come into your home for whatever you may need. Maybe you need help post-op, recovery at home. This is in-home nursing care. Maybe it's end-of-life care. Maybe you're bringing home a new baby and you need in-home help with the new baby while you have other children at home, whatever it may be. Maybe you're an adult caring for elderly parents and you need help in-home with your elderly parents. Decision Critical can be that solution for you. Schedule that discovery call at decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. If you're thinking of it, can't remember, you can always message me, and I'll always send it to you. You can always go to LouisianaSports.net, by the way, because they have our partners at LouisianaSports.net. So if you go to the Our Partners page at the top, you hit the drop-down. It's all of our partners for all of our shows here. So that's a good reference point. Just remember, go to Our Partners at the top of LouisianaSports.net, and you'll see them all right there. Okay, it is After Further Review. Y'all will knock out a final break of the show. Jimmy will be here for Otterlocks. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Otterlocks is next as we wrap up AFR.
AFR.
Man, if you're heading home, swing on into Rouse's. You need dinner for the whole family. You don't feel like cooking? Swing on into Rouse's. Rouse's is a grocery store, though, Matt. Yes, they're a grocery store, but they also got the hot bar. They got the hot and boiled kiosk. You can always grab and go. Something for everyone in the family so everyone can eat whatever they want over at Rouse's. They got pre-made sushi, which is divine, over at Rouse's. They've got so many great options for the entire family, so get on by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. I always encourage you as well. Maybe you get into the weekend and you're going to pick up your groceries. Remember to check out the weekly ad. They've got it on their social media, but also if you go to the website at Rouse's.com, they got the weekly ad tab. It'll tell you everything that's on sale and special that week. So if you're going to, you need shopping on a budget, you want to get the most value, you can do it. Rouse's can help. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. With more than 70 locations, it's Rouse's. This feels like home.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, Refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Good, Matthew. How about you, buddy?
Doing very well. Appreciate the time as always.
Bounced back last night.
Yes.
That's good. Always with a couple of plus prices. So how about, nothing like the Pittsburgh Pirates finally win a game to break up a perfect night. But no, the Celtics, that is going to be fun tomorrow night. They got a little bit of fight left in them.
Celtics, well, they went bombs away from three, right? I think I saw the number was 22 three-pointers made, which was the most in an elimination game, or tied for the most in an elimination game ever.
I think they did, but, Matt, a guy like Josh Hart, who's kind of a scrappy player.
Sure.
He hit his first 4 out of 5 threes, too. Both teams are scoring a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot more scoring the last couple of games than anticipated. Clearly going over only 2 Major League Baseball games tonight, only 1 NBA playoff game tonight, and that is the Denver Nuggets. And we're not zigzagging at all here. The Nuggets are down 3-2 in this series, but they have covered 3 in a row. They covered 3 in a row. The one in Game 4 was unusual. The one at Oklahoma City, they're up 6 with like 10 seconds to go. There was a double lane violation on a missed free throw by Denver. They go to a jump ball, they get it, they bank in a 3, and that's kind of how they cover that one, or they would have fouled. And then the other night, they should have won the game. And what I'm seeing right now is Oklahoma City's got way more of a headache trying to defend the Joker than Denver does defending Gilgeous-Alexander. So SGA is going to probably win the regular season MVP. Maybe it'd be different if Joker hadn't won a couple already, but I just like this matchup. You catch your points at home. I like them plus the points. I like them on the money line as well, which is a good plus price.
Okay. All right.
College baseball tonight. Full slate in the SEC. Charlie and I have been doing a lot of podcasts on college baseball. All of it has been SEC. 4 straight profitable weeks on that. So we've really been diving into this stuff head first. And, one of the matchups, there was a chunk of people we talked about on the show today, a chunk of coaches have kind of finagled their pitching. maybe trying to get it straight for a couple of weeks from now. Whatever it is, strategic, I don't know. But when you take a guy like Tennessee's ace, who's probably going to be the number 2 pick, and he has been tough. We know how he shut out LSU for 8 innings a couple of weeks ago here. It's a big drop-off after him. They go to Arkansas tonight. I'm willing to lay that number. Arkansas will throw their ace tonight. We know how tough they are at home. So willing to take Arkansas against, down the line pitching for Tennessee in that one. And who was the other one that we had?
Auburn.
Auburn. Good, man. I'm all over Auburn. I am bullish on Auburn. I've taken them to at plus 400 is available at DraftKings and the Queen to advance to the College World Series. They have dipped now from 40-1 to 30-1, but I think they are going to be a top 8 national seed. I think those odds will come down, and they're just flat out better than, even though they're not starting Dutton tonight. I like Auburn against Ole Miss in Swayze Field tonight.
All right. So,
and one, if you want to take a stab,
okay,
take Missouri. Take Missouri tonight.
I'm not doing that. No.
Why?
Because they're an awful baseball team. Congratulations. Texas A&M is not a great. They're talented. They're not a great baseball team. They thought they had it, and Missouri would lay down, and they got punched in the mouth. Hat tip to Missouri. I'm not spending money on Missouri. Not doing it.
I'm betting them all 3 games. I think it will turn a profit. If you did roll over $100 last week in Missouri, you would have profited $179,840. Just saying. I mean, I will tell you this. I do like their body language. I mean, they were. You thought they were going to Omaha or something.
Yeah, when you're 0-24 and you finally win. Yeah, sure.
They 1-24, 2-24,
yeah,
3-20. All we have to do is win one of the 3. One of the 3 this weekend to turn a profit. I think that's going to happen.
Awesome.
This is a segment where I give my opinions on betting, right? So I'm doing it, and guess what? Wait. I am putting my money where my mouth is.
That's that is fine. Anyway. By the way, I didn't interject anything. You asked me. You asked me why not, and I said I'm not betting money on Missouri. So
that's perfectly fine. And that's fine.
That is fine. I've bet the other 3 games. I'm a little leery on Arkansas, but I'll ride with you. Tennessee just scares me. I don't like betting against Tennessee.
I am taking that guy when he pitches tomorrow. I'll take
Liam
that.
Doyle.
But yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But it's, I'm going against him. I mean, look at it. I mean,
that's up to minus 210 now, Otter, by the way.
What's that?
That's up to minus 210 now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's getting
it's expensive.
That's getting a little high. So, but we did put it in when it was at minus 175. There's another bomb for Texas A&M. They're leading Georgia 4-2 on the road at Athens, by the way. So.
Well, when you got a bitty ballpark and a right field fence,
that thing is a joke. I think I could go yard right now in that ball.
I could go yard with hitting a softball at that field right now, and I got a bad back and all. It's pitiful. Like check swing pop-ups leave right field at full. It's absurd. Anyway, whatever. All right, we're tomorrow. Rufino's tomorrow. Yeah.
Where are we? Come on, man.
Well, I say that out of habit, and then I remember what day it is.
I've seen you there before.
I know.
I've seen you there before.
Dude, it's a great Friday lunch spot, man.
It is.
It's awesome.
It is. We started this in 2011 when we started the show, and wanted to experiment with it. And man, it's great. It's known now. It's like we got our regulars. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. If you don't want to hear me and Charlie screaming at each other, you can go to another room. If you do, well, you can stay in that room. So,
And in fairness, too, like you can be sitting in there in the bar area, and if you want to be isolated from you guys, you can be isolated from where you don't hear it. So it's all good. No, it's a great spot.
Yeah, we're beyond getting our feelings hurt when people get up and leave. It's okay.
I'm just gonna hang up on you now. Then thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, we'll see you. That's Jimmy Ott. It's after further review. Muse, what you got coming up on Muso at the Box?
Oh, man, we got our post-game reactions coming up, weekend recap, all those things. Looking forward to what's hopefully a great weekend for the Tigers, man.
And tomorrow, Taylor's in, Cassie's out, because Cassie will be graduating tomorrow.
Hey!
Let's go. your mom can stop being mad at you for trying to encourage you to quit school for the last. How long have I been trying to encourage you to quit? It's been a minute.
Like 2 years.
It's probably. Has it been 2 years?
I think it's been about 2 years.
Yeah, I have been encouraging Cassie to quit school for like the last 2 years. I was like, "Why are you going to school? Why?" I'm like, "Let's have the convo, Cassie. Why are you going to school?"
So I can get a degree.
And do what with that degree?
Get a job.
What kind of job you want?
A broadcasting job.
Oh, like at a radio company doing live video,
Yeah.
and like this one?
Yeah.
Cool, you're hired. Quit
Awesome.
school. Anyway, congratulations, Cassie. I got across the finish line. So where is graduation? Like you're in the manship school, so where will you be walking?
In the field house, so the indoor track facility.
I graduated in the U2 use?
Field house, yep. I graduated in the field house.
I graduated in the Union Theater.
Huh?
That's where my
cool.
sister graduated. She had a December graduation.
Me too. And I got to tell the story tomorrow. I had a graduation day total mishap. Like big time graduation day mishap. I'll tell the story tomorrow. Have a great night.
AFR.
Oh, I got to do Evermore. Evermore. Drink Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore.com. How about the tweet I got yesterday from Breezy Bro? He had his bottle of Evermore in his in the front seat next to him with his seatbelt around the bottle. It said, "Protect the things that matter." Drink Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore.com. Evermore.com. Available at great local retailers. You get the 20-ounce bottles, the 32-ounce bottles, the 64-ounce bottles. I always encourage, like what I do is I'll buy the 4-pack of 64, and I'll bring one with me to work every day. And then I also have them where I'll fill the Keurig. So I'm drinking this natural artesian water always. Highly recommend to anybody, get tap water out of your life. And Evermore it's alkaline by nature. It's natural artesian water. It comes from a natural artesian well, ancient underground aquifers on the North Shore. The facility is built around the well. It's Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.